Government.
I like that.
Government.
I like that.
Everyone keeps voting over the same thing, bro. Red and blue, red and blue, red and blue. It's gangs. That's all it is.
Man.
Plain and simple. And what government was created to do was to conquer and divide.
Right.
That's what they've always been.
Absolutely.
Power and control.
Power control.
And I don't know, man. It's like people don't see that. They think that they get another person in there and another person in there and somehow it's going to work. And it doesn't, man. It doesn't. It's sad that they think that. It's sad that they keep playing into the system, trying to fix it when it's doing what it was intentionally made to do. But I don't know, man. So when I say to fight back, it is to fight them.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And it's a takeover, but you can't, bro, because they're in control of the fucking police and the military.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And they gonna keep us divided.
Yeah, and everyone's like, well, the police and military wouldn't do that. If you tell them you're going to take away their salary if they're done, you'll see a changed man. Watch.
Absolutely.
You know,
you're damn right.
Then they'll do what they have to do. You know,
yep.
And I've talked a lot about that, especially on my last podcast, dude. You know, and I can't get it in motherfuckers' heads to think, bro. You know, that's why I don't really have and I would have politicians and stuff like that on here, but I'm sure some who listen to my content,
that's what I'd be fearful of, bro. Like, it's like, I'll talk to any and everybody, but I want it to be real. Like, if you're going to sit down with me, be real. And that, in the time that I had the guys who owned the cigar lounge that would shoot out of Mike and David.
Yeah, I like that place.
Yeah,
man.
I didn't know that they would answer the questions how they did.
I watched that podcast.
Yeah.
That was a good podcast.
When David said he think every rookie cop should get some mental health and go to therapy, it stunned the shit out of me. I was like, because I didn't think he would say that.
Yeah.
Because there are individuals in that field who will go, oh, I don't need no, and you got a veteran saying, oh, you do. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I mean, dude, imagine the shit they see, bro.
Exactly. That's exactly what David said.
And you know what's crazy is that they don't put it on fucking the news.
Yeah.
They don't. They put it on YouTube.
Yeah.
There's this one YouTube channel. It's called Police Activity.
Okay.
I think that's what it's called. They show you the real shit, man.
From their body cams,
From the body cams, yeah. And the shit they have to go through. Bro, I seen this last one. Some homeless dude was walking around with a machete and just started chopping this police officer up. I don't know what happened to the dude.
Oh, I know.
I know.
Fired his ass up if it was me.
Yeah, I know, dude. And well, he tried to.
Okay.
And people's misconception is that when you get shot, they're just automatically going to stop. That's not how it always works.
No.
That's not how it always works, man. But yeah, and you know, a lot of people who know me know my issues with the police and all the other alphabet agencies. But it's not that I necessarily have the problem with the workers. It's that I have a problem more with the guys at the top.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
So if they were to help direct those guys a lot better and give them the tools they need and not make them feel involved in all this bullshit, you know what I mean? Like, they got them fucking sitting on the side of the roads being fucking road pirates and shit, like shit they don't need to be doing. A lot of these guys will tell you that. I bet you ask them dudes, be like, how'd you like giving dumbass tickets out all the time? They'd be like, it sucks. Give them real police work.
Mm-hmm.
Have them go and find all these fucking missing kids that are out there and,
you
know, fucking help out, you know, doing other shit that's saving lives, you know? But too, a lot of people, they forget and they put a lot of pressure on the police that they're like, well, they need to be this, and this, basically perfect. And you're not going to get that.
And I never would. And for me, that's my thing with the whole police and public, you know, or civilian relationship.
Yeah.
I've never saw police officers as perfect because of the community I grew up in. I saw cops be, imperfect. Well, I got to see their imperfections, basically.
Yeah, they're very imperfect.
You feel what I'm saying? Because
we are imperfect.
There you go.
As a community.
And the environment that I grew up in, you can't come down here with that cookie cutter shit, you know, by the book. You got to have a little bit of edge to you to even coexist down in here. So I never saw cops being that Beverly Hills cop suit and tie. No, I saw them being human.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're from where?
I'm from St. Louis.
Okay. What part of St. Louis?
So I'm from the north side of St. Louis in an area called Walnut Park.
How is it over there?
I mean, growing up, man, I always say this. It's your typical community that's plagued by poverty. You know what I mean? And now that I've gotten older, I used to think that it was just me and mine or just black folks. And man, I've come to learn if there is poverty, it's crime, brother. I don't care what race is over there, religion. If it's poverty, it's going to be crime. It is what it is. So
yeah, and I would like to say anywhere there's crime, I think it's just a different type of crime in different areas. You know what I mean? Like, you've got crime in the suburbs. It's just maybe a little bit different.
Yeah.
Even though now I feel like, especially over here, I don't know if you're on the Kansas side or Missouri.
Yeah,
side.
I live in Lenexa.
Okay. So on the Missouri side, where I'm located at, you know, with how expensive downtown's getting in those areas, people are starting to migrate up north and spreading out, you know what I mean? So you're starting to see a little bit of that moving into these areas. But what's sad to me, man, is that those areas, like these areas of poverty, and, you know, I grew up in these areas half of my life.
Yeah.
I was fortunate that my parents got me out at a very early age in like, I don't know, I think like middle elementary. And they moved me up north, but I've always been back and forth. You know, you have family down in those communities. Yeah, friends. At the time when you're in high school, when you're in, you know, middle school, the way you think, you know, especially back then, the whole gangster era back then.
Man.
I don't even know if that's still a thing. I can't even tell who a gangster is nowadays,
the
bro.
kids now, no, it's different, bro. We can't get on the court with these
skinny
motherfuckers.
jeans and a polo. Yeah,
it's over, bro.
And I'm like, I don't know. He looks like a normal dude. Back in the day, you used to be able to identify him. Those dickies in a white tee. I know what he's doing.
You got gangsters putting on painted nails and shit. Now, look, that's why I'm glad I don't take no part in none of that shit. I'm good. I don't subscribe to none of that shit.
I know, man. It's a whole different generation now, man.
Yes, sir.
But to go back on that, it's like it's funny how people just see that, oh, well, that's the norm. That's the norm. That's just how it's gonna be. There's always gonna be hoods in these areas of poverty. When, bro, that in 2024, no one should be fucking poor. And if you are poor, it's by choice. You know what I mean? The problem is, man, is the fucking wages, man. And everyone wants to talk about, oh, we got enough. Oh, we got enough. Yes, there's going to be those people that don't know how to manage a checkbook. Okay? There is.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people that are good people that work these jobs, and I don't give a fuck how you look at them. Everything's perspective. They want to be like, oh, well, that job's for a high schooler. Oh, that job's for a so-and-so. Don't tell people how to live their fucking life.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right.
Because every time I've heard people go into those drive-thrus at a fucking Wendy's and they're upset that some high school kid doesn't give a fuck and they're giving them a sloppy-ass cheeseburger and bad customer service, well, that's what you said that job was for. So that's what you're going to get. You know what I mean? So that kind of pisses me off, man. I feel like if they would just fix wages, and, you know, I'm saying increase wages, but I'm not saying just give these people ungodly amounts of money, you know, for nothing. I'm saying pay them so that way they're not living paycheck to paycheck. You know what I mean? Because, dude, it's sad, man. It's sad to think that you can receive $20 every hour for 8 hours and expect somebody, especially in this economy, to be able to survive off of that.
That's crazy, bro.
And they go, well, they can survive. True.
Yeah.
But what are we talking about here? What is your idea of that's enough? Yeah. So if this guy or girl can only afford a car, an apartment, and has to eat in all the time, that's how they should live. They're fortunate to live that way. Why?
And that ain't living.
That ain't fucking living, bro.
That ain't living.
And it baffles me. It baffles me to hear some of these people say that shit. And you know what the crazy thing it is? It's not only the people with money saying this shit.
No.
It's people that are working right next to you. I'm like, motherfucker, you're in the same boat as me. Why aren't you on my side here?
But they be just as that divide and conquer that you were speaking about earlier,
they're
man.
like fucking brainwashed, man. It makes no fucking sense at all, dude.
And it's because at the end of the day, we at this stage, 2024, we know it can be done. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
we know y'all can raise the wages. We know y'all can make it livable.
The problem is government keeps getting involved, and that's the fucking problem. I know people give me shit about the minimum wage, my ideal on it, but I think minimum wage is a bad thing. You're setting a limit. So you're going, hey, minimum wage is $8. That's all you're going to get. People are like, well, if we didn't have minimum wage, they would just pay us whatever. No, the fuck they wouldn't.
Yeah.
If they started said, I'm only going to give you $1, I guarantee you that. Yeah, I guarantee you that motherfucker wouldn't be in business. You know what I mean? But no one, they're like, oh no, and these businesses are fucking greedy.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not one of those guys that's like, fuck the rich. I'm not. but they are fucking greedy. I don't give a fuck what you say. I've met a lot of business owners. They want as max profit as they want, and they want to give you as little as they can fucking give you. They want to give you the small, not all companies, a lot of companies though.
A majority of them.
Majority of
them.
We've seen it. I'm sure in your work you've seen it. Here's your 50-cent raise.
Yeah, man.
After a year.
Honestly,
you gave me 2 quarters.
Yeah.
An hour. 2 quarters.
Well, I saw it, honestly, was when I moved up here and I started working for Amazon, like I was telling you earlier. Just seeing the nature of the beast that is Amazon, I was like, oh, wait a minute. I'm like, nah, bro. I'm like, wait a minute. Y'all don't give a damn about me. I'm just a number in here. I'm just, y'all firing me at the drop of a hat. And it kind of shaped my opinion on the workforce, if you will.
Yeah,
you know
no,
I mean?
man. It's fucking, it's crazy to me, man. I honestly don't see a fix because I think that we are, as a community, all right, let me say this. All right. I have a little hope.
Okay.
But I think, especially with podcasting, I think you're able to see a more broader perspective from a lot of different people instead of just the talking heads on TV. So, or just celebrities, because God damn, dude, I wish people idolized normal guys like me and you, or not even me and you, just other guys that are
a blue collar guy,
here, blue collar guy, whatever. You just a normal fucking dude or chick. Idolize those people because I don't understand the gravity that people have towards celebrities, the delusion they have on a normal person's life. It's not relatable. You know what I mean? I mean, maybe if you catch that celebrity that just became like just got money or just got status, you know what I mean? Maybe, but even then, it's like I don't know, man. It's just it's weird. It's kind of culty.
Oh, without a doubt, that's what it is. I mean, even just with reality TV, you know, we saw that ushered in with our generation. You know what I mean? And just watching, you know, everybody be drawn to that. It's kind of like, man, first of all, the shit ain't real. You know what I mean?
Dude, reality TV has been a disease.
Oh, disease, without a doubt.
A horrible disease.
A horrible disease.
Especially on women, man.
That's who I was. You took. Go ahead.
It's
you took
fucking.
It right from me.
It's sad, bro, and I have seen it firsthand.
Yeah.
I'm all for trash TV. There's some dumbass shows I watch sometimes too, but the constant fighting, and the delusion of how relationships should be, how life should be. They don't think it's altering their mind, but it is, and we've seen it.
Yeah.
I mean, look at it nowadays. Are you in a relationship?
No, I'm not.
How is the fucking dating scene right now?
My brother, it is horrible.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I hear.
Man, it's horrible, bro. And these
sad.
Women, they don't like. Man, it's gospel that you saying, bro, because they don't see what's going on around them because they so caught up in this reality TV, social media relationship bullshit that they're not even listening to real men in the flesh saying, hey, baby, I don't like when you, most men don't like when you do that. Yeah. Oh, no, real men, baby. I'm telling you as a real man what we don't like. You gonna go against what I say because what you heard on a podcast, on a reality TV show or even podcast,
or even a podcast.
Push that bullshit. Yeah. Listen to me because I'm a human being and I'm telling you what it is. But
well, that's the problem. You know, both genders should be trying to understand one another instead of, I mean, it's okay to go to the same gender to get advice, but if you're trying to find some type of relation with the opposite sex, you have to understand them.
Absolutely.
So you have to go to them, you know, going to your girlfriends or even dudes going to their guy friends. Everyone is different, man.
Everybody's different.
You gotta, if you're with the chick, you guys gotta talk, man. You know, because guys are just as bad at this shit right now.
Without a doubt.
All these dudes that think they're Andrew Tate out here, it's like, brother, and I ain't got no problems with Andrew Tate. I like Andrew Tate. Yeah. But you don't have the money as Andrew Tate, so shut the fuck up, bro.
Relax,
like,
bro.
you ain't gonna be able to get a chick to do all this shit that he's doing. You
they
know
taking
what I mean?
those talking points they hear him say.
Yeah,
and they try to say it on that. It's not. Hey, it ain't
you
gonna.
You can't
hit
do
like
that working at Foot Locker, bro. You know, you can't do that, dog.
No, bro.
And it's sad to see the male perspective on things, like the younger males.
Yeah.
And they think that's how it is, or they think that, I mean, it's been going on since we were younger, the sleeping around, you know, with all many different women as you can. It's weird, man. Actually, you know, and I listened to this guy, I can't remember his fucking name, but he talks about basically being sexually disciplined.
Okay.
It's a very hard thing to do.
Oh, very.
I mean, if you, I wish a woman could stand in the shoes of a man with the fucking the high
Man,
testosterone. You know what I mean?
they could never understand, bro.
It's very difficult.
Very
Just
difficult.
like we have a hard time understanding the emotional side of a woman, you know, and their hormones. But yeah, man, I mean, I think that men should do a lot better at, just as much as they're focusing on the Andrew Tates of the world,
Mhm.
which there's no problem with that, but you got to remember, not everything that he says is going to be able to be relatable to you. You
And
have
that's
to
the thing.
filter it out.
Yeah.
But you should also be finding alternative people to listen to too.
Mhm.
Maybe like, you know, the Jordan Petersons or
Hey, man, I listen to him.
yeah, he's
Daily.
he's-
I listen to a
yeah.
clip of his at
and
least
there's
daily.
not everything
Once a
I
day.
believe in Jordan Peterson
Right.
is, you know, but you take these things and you mold them to your life, and
Yes, sir.
it's trial and error.
Yeah, for sure.
You try it didn't work.
Mhm.
Okay, let me listen to something else. But you should constantly be growing
Absolutely.
and learning and changing. You
Yep.
know what I mean? Because like me, man, you know, I grew up, and you know, this isn't a knock to how I grew up,
Yep.
but I was giving advice. I was given advice, and I was told, you know, just be a good man,
Mm-hmm.
respect a woman. And I feel like that's kind of as far as it got. You
Right.
know what I mean? The old school parenting, you
Yeah.
know, like that's kind of where it got, you know, do a little bit here and there. But that's very black and white.
Mm-hmm.
Love and relationships and all that shit is such a gray,
Man.
weird area, bro.
And it's getting greater,
And
goddammit.
yeah. And there's so many different factors and so many different things, and everyone's relationships and everything is so much different. It's insane. So you can't just listen to one person.
Right, you can't.
gotta pull from all
Yeah,
sorts
you
of
have
different
to.
people. You know, and in this age, what makes it even harder is the social media shit, man.
Right.
You know, because these women have all the power now, man.
Man, and they've always had it, but man, it's like now it's
No,
like
but
it's,
now with social media,
it's in
with
your
all
face.
with the DMs,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
you can always check if the grass is greener on the other side.
Listen, I always say, man, it completely changed the game for relationships, because to the point you just made, brother, it's like, even if she's a quote unquote good woman and she don't want nothing to do with them DMs, regardless, sweetie, like the moment I piss you off, man, you can go in the other room and just like a message somebody sent you, and yeah, you're not cheating, but you going down a rabbit hole now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, they got all the power.
And I think the problem is too, and it's not, and this may sound like I'm just talking about very good looking people, because very good looking people have a very difficult life. It's a very easy life, but it's very difficult too, because they get so much based off their looks, women and men. You know what I mean? And they're always getting and being able to have these connections with people based off of the physical look of them. But at the end, bro, when it's all those years have gone by, because everybody gets old,
There you
and
go.
you look back and you had to settle with some chick, or you have to look back and be like, damn, that girl would have been a good girl if I wasn't just fucking always chasing other shit, you know? You know, you just kind of just pissed it all away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm sure it's a very sad life, but
And that's the thing. A lot of people in our generation, mainly the women, they won't notice until they get older. We get older, and you know, we in our 40s, and we look back and go, "Told your ass." Like, yeah, now you competing with her, and she 22. You can't fuck with her. You know what I mean?
A woman's prime was in, you know, from probably 18 till, I mean, some of them take care of themselves, which not a lot of them do.
Yeah.
Just like men, a lot of men don't take care of themselves. But maybe 25,
Maybe.
you know,
Maybe.
if they don't have kids already. And so that's their time where they're just like hot shit, you know.
I'll say a pretty girl is like an athlete, bro. You know what I mean? Like, remember the athlete who was the shit and he got everything, everybody gave him shit.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Come over to the house and all of that, and you know, everybody boosters, whatever. You get the same treatment the pretty girl get. Everybody want her around, and she gonna get in for free, and she ain't gotta pay for nothing. So basically, to your point, I mean,
But
get rough.
But come 30,
Boom.
that's when it's like, oh shit.
Remember the high school athlete who was the shit? Now we grown, and it's kind of like, he was the shit back in the day, boy.
Now life slaps you in the face. You know what I mean?
So it's all the same thing.
And it's sad to see, you know, and you know, I've seen it in a lot of women, man, and you know, especially a lot of them that don't take care of themselves. You gotta take care of yourselves, man or woman. Like physical fitness, you know, and this is something I had to learn. I was a piece of shit all through my 20s, man, and it's funny because I was so athletic, you know, from the age of like 5 till the end of high school. or about middle high school, I think I started working.
Mhm.
But just pissed away in my 20s, man. You
Yeah.
know, drank, did drugs, partied.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the typical shit we did back then. And it's sad to see. It's like if you don't take care of yourself, man, especially, you know, keeping constant in your 20s, when you hit your 30s, man, you're gonna have a lot of work to do, bro. And a
Man.
lot of people do not sacrifice that shit, man. It's hard. I'm
It's
not gonna
hard.
lie.
No, it's hard.
It's hard. I started to try to take care of myself when I was like 27.
Yep.
I finally was like,
Yeah.
I gotta fucking do something, man, because I look like shit
That's
right
what it
now.
is.
You know what I mean? And it sucks not looking like shit. You know,
Mhm.
you don't have the confidence, you don't feel good, people don't take you seriously.
Yeah.
So it's like, man, you know, I gotta change. And dude, I fell off the wagon so many times,
Yeah.
bro. But you gotta keep getting up, man.
Got
You
to, man.
got to.
It's imperative.
And I will tell you, once you start looking at the pursuit as the reward
Mhm.
instead of the end, like that'll change your whole mindset on things. Cause I was always like, can't wait till I'm skinny, can't wait till I'm buff, can't wait till I'm, you
Yeah.
know, have muscle. If you start looking more of enjoying that road of
Mhm.
the getting there, then it'll be more long term. Because if you don't, man, I mean, you're just going to be short-sighted, and this shit doesn't happen overnight, especially if you already beat your body up
Man.
for 10 years drinking and fucking
Yeah.
party, man. I mean, it's sad, but
And you said it right, man. It's something about a grown man. You know what I mean? I always say, after 25, I always tell my partners who younger than me, that's 21, 22, I always say, man, I can't wait to meet you when you're 25. You know what I mean? Because and some don't get it, but it's around that after post 25, man, it's like a grown man. If you want better for yourself, it's like something switch. And it's like, for me, I got dumped and I was just like,
yep.
hold on. And then everything changed from that point on, man. Like you talk about getting up, I was down in the dump. Every man that been there.
I've been through it, bro.
Heart been broke.
Yep.
Oh, how could she do this to me? Blah, blah. And you feel like, you know, you can't move on. But, man, one day you get up and you just keep getting up day after day after day, man. And you'll find yourself in a beautiful spot.
The problem is with men is that they think that they should just be loved unconditionally.
Okay, yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
And we have never been giving that
Never.
since day one. You
Yeah.
know? Women, yeah.
Mhm.
Women are looked at differently, you know? And even then, I say that, but there are some things that some men, I mean, every man looks at different qualities in a woman. So they still have to bring something.
Yeah.
But mainly with men, well, I'll say majority, I can't ever say all.
Right.
But we will adore and cherish and love them just for being them
Man.
majority of the time.
No,
you know what I mean?
majority of the time.
Like, we'll put up with a lot of shit.
Absolutely.
And I think that, though, but with men, they think that they can also do that. Because trust me, I was there. I thought,
Oh, I was there?
I thought when you get into a relationship, she's just going to love you. But that is not how the wiring of a woman works,
Yes,
man.
sir.
You have to bring something. And I'm not talking about working your 50 hours a week.
They don't give a
That ain't
damn about
enough.
that.
They don't give it. That doesn't matter. Money doesn't matter.
Nope.
You have to take care of yourself. You have to be what everybody else wants, but she got.
Yeah, hell
That's
yeah.
what she wants.
That's what she wants.
And I'm not saying that's every woman. There are some women out there that think differently. But I will tell you, a majority of women will think that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't think it's a bad thing.
I don't either.
Yeah.
You know, like I said before, man, that breakup is what I needed. You know what I mean? Because if I'm gonna be honest with myself, before then, I was a little ass boy up here before then. Because to your point, I'm thinking, oh, if I love her, it's unconditional. She ain't gonna go nowhere. That breakup taught me, hey man, life ain't fair. You feel what I'm saying? You could be doing everything in your power with good intentions. It could go to shit. You know what I mean? So that moment, I'm not saying every man needs a breakup or a heartbreak, but man, it did wonders for me. You know what I mean?
Did you have a person in your life that kind of guided you through that, or did you have to
Yeah.
kind of?
It was more so, now I come from I'm the baby of the family.
Mhm.
So I leaned on my family, more so my father. You know,
Did you have brothers?
yeah, I got one big brother.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I always, my position always, I like to talk to elder people. You know what I mean? Obviously, because I'm the youngest. So
Yeah.
when I was going through that, the two people I talked to the most was my father, well, the three people, my mother, my father, and then I would talk to my grandmother. You know what I mean? And, you know, because I just love that older wisdom.
Mhm.
At a time where it wasn't about the money and all that. It was just kind of more so about love. You know what I mean? More so than it is now, I'll say, because they didn't have much growing
What do you
up.
mean? Like some people just talk to older people because they think they're going to get something out of it at some point? Is that what you mean?
No, so like me, I talk to them because I talk to older people for the wisdom.
No, I know that, but you
Okay,
said
gotcha.
not for the money.
Oh, I mean, our grandparents, when they was getting in relationships and everything, it wasn't, our granddaddies didn't have no fucking 100,000. They met our grandparents, I met our grandma. So when I talk to older people, it's more genuine. The answers are
their
more genuine.
relationships. Okay.
You know what I mean? So those are those 3 people I leaned on.
But I'm sure they still dealt with the same issues.
For sure.
You know what I mean? I mean, infidelity has always been around since the fucking start of time.
Papa was Rolling Stone.
Yeah, and relationship issues, communication, all that stuff, man. It's always been an issue, but that's good that you talk to the elderly because I don't see that enough, man. You know what I mean? See, I either see the elderly not caring and just complaining about the youth. Well, it's like, well, where the fuck were you at?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Why don't you now?
Stop complaining on Facebook about how shitty the youth is and go out there and do something and help these people. And then, but I also see too that the younger generation are not, you know, and it happens a lot, you know, especially when you're younger, you think you know it all.
Yeah.
They're not asking or they just not listening.
Yeah.
You know? But I think that still the older community should still be passing down the wisdom.
Absolutely.
Whether or not they take it or not, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But at least it was given. And I would say if you took a lot of younger kids and at least gave them that, instead of all of them being fucked without it, some of them would be able to utilize that information and make their road a little less hard because that's the point, right?
Right.
Is to make their road not easy, but a little less like challenges that just don't need to be faced. Like we don't need to, we've already been through that. We don't need to go through that, you know? If they were to do that, man, I think it would change so much, man. And we're losing that. We're even losing that in the jobs. Like how many of the older people at jobs do you see training younger people?
Man, you don't see it, man. You know, you're right, man.
They give them like 2 weeks of training, kick them out and go figure it out.
Yeah, man. Know? It's rough, man. I do believe we would be in a better place if there was more of a connection between the youth and the elders, because I mean it's wisdom, like you said.
Yeah.
They're no different than a coach. They've been there, done that, bought that T-shirt already, and he's telling you, hey son, I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen when you do it. I'm not telling you don't do it, but when you do it, this is what's gonna transpire. So, and that's needed, man. Like, and I think a lot of people in this time don't want to talk to the older people because the older people won't give them the answers that they're looking for.
Yeah.
These women, no disrespect to them, not all. A lot of women won't go talk to our grandmothers to ask them about love and, you know, taking care of a man because they're going to give them answers that they don't want to hear.
Yeah.
Your grandma going to tell you, yeah, baby, make his plate, do his laundry, do this, give him some, you know, whatever many times a week. Women going to combat that of today. Modern women are going to say, oh, no, you don't know what you talk about. So we got a generation kind of lost people because we don't want to connect with the older generation, and we already doing this at 2000 babies. Like, I'll get your little young ass out of here. So everybody just lost in our own little generation, if you will.
Well, it kind of goes back to what we were saying too with the poverty issue. You know what I mean? Poverty, the way the youth is brought up, all that stuff goes back to the home. You know, and it goes back to a 2-parent system that we're losing. You know, and I'm not saying every 2-parent system is good. It's not, but a 2-parent system, having a father and a mother, you're going to be a lot better. And I'm not talking about being a father that's just works and goes home, sits on the couch, drink a beer and just like go play outside. I'm talking about a father that's in his life and a father that's not just waiting to kick him out at 18, a father that's there until the day he dies, man. Because your son or your daughter, and just because you have a daughter doesn't mean the father also shouldn't be involved. Oh, well, I'll just let her deal with the mother. No, fuck
you
that.
need to be there.
Because you need to be explaining to her what these guys are about out here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just the same way a mother should be explaining to the son a women's perspective. But yeah, man, I mean, it's sad to see where homes are going, man, because it's just so easy to quit. You know?
Expound on that, bro, please, if you will, bro.
It's easy to quit. Because, I mean, I think a big thing is social media is causing us to be able to see other people's lives more. So we're able to connect with these people, able to go and try things like, oh, well, this isn't working out with him. He looks like he's having a great time over there. I'm craving that. Let me go try that.
And get your ass over there and find out.
And it never works, man. It never works. I mean, I would say maybe a very small percentage it probably works, and your relationship must have been horrible for it to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But majority of the time it's not, man. And so and it's both ways. It's not just a woman or it's not just men. It's you see both parties just giving up, man, spitting out kids and giving up.
And that's what I don't like. I wish we was more like our elders in the sense of, man, let's communicate. Let's work through some shit. Why are we quitting at everything? Even with
there's too much
everywhere, man.
There's too much in our face, man.
Oh, you right.
Look at everything in our face. Yeah. Everything is just that phone is a great tool.
Yeah.
But it can also be destructive as well.
For sure.
Because you just have all this just false realities being thrown in your face, you know? And so you can give up easily. Yeah. Back in the day, you didn't see all that shit. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You had what you had. You had to figure that. And it was probably worse. You know what I mean? Like, you're like, man, it's funny. My buddy Raphael, his mother told me something one time. And I'm not saying every relationship should stick it out. If you're being abused or it's just horrible, stuff like that, get the fuck out. Right. You know what I mean? That's not right. But she said something one time that kind of hit me. She said, why would I ever leave this man to take on another man's problems? You know, I already know his problems. Yep. I know what we can work on here. Why am I going to go start some new, try to go manage some new problems? Because everybody got them. Everyone's got problems.
Yep.
Why do you want to keep jumping and jumping and jumping, like trying to find this perfect relationship?
It ain't gonna never be perfect.
No, none of them are, bro. It's fucking difficult. I think relationships had to be the most difficult thing I've ever gone through.
Listen to me, man.
And bringing kids into the factor is even more difficult, you know?
I'll say this, man, like watching my parents, they've been together 35 years now. Mm-hmm. And I've been the last one to leave the house, man. I've seen it all. I've seen the arguments, the fights, the almost divorces, the packing the bags. Mm-hmm. I've seen it all, bro. So my perspective on relationship is always going to be a little different than the social media shit because
Do you feel like that altered your ideas on it?
Well, without a doubt.
You think that's why you've kind of taken so long to kind of settle down?
Yeah. Because I mean, the greatest tip my father gave me, he was just like, you know, in regards to the birds and the bees, you know, he just was like, son, listen, if you ain't gonna marry her, man, you know what I mean? Don't shoot that club up, man, because it's gonna ruin you. Mm-hmm. You know, shout out to the people who could coexist and co-parent. That I feel like that's beautiful. You know what I mean? My father was just like, son, you make it easy on yourself. Don't get no woman pregnant. You don't want to marry her. Yeah. So those lessons and, you know, watching my mother, you know, my father be at work. My mother, he'll hang his robe up, but my father smoked cigarettes, so his robe will smell like cigarettes. Mm-hmm. Before he get home from work, my mama would wash his robe, hang it back up, so when he done with his shower, he could throw his robe on. Those are the things that I'm seeing growing up. So when I hear a woman online say, I'm not doing that unless you make $100,000, oh, baby, you ain't saying nothing that's true because I've watched a real marriage work with these things. So, yeah, it's definitely altered my opinion.
Do you feel like maybe sometimes you're looking in the wrong place?
A lot. You know what I mean? And my father talked to me that me and my father talk a lot.
Because certain scenes can be very attractive. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? The clubs, the bars, you know, and it's probably how people are nowadays. Everything's through dating apps, everything's through social media. So that's how it works. Mm-hmm. So it's probably hard to go out here and find women in alternate places, maybe church. That's all you got. But it's like, so if you're trying to go anywhere else, like let's say a grocery store, you know, half the time you got to be worried about if you're going to creep this chick out. You know what I mean?
If you still,
and you're going to end up on TikTok and a fucking creepy guy stalking me at Price Shopping when you're just trying to get to know, hey, how you doing? You know, being friendly.
It's rough, man. Like if you still going about it the way we know about going about getting women, the traditional way that us 90s babies saw growing up, man, you'll find yourself worried about those types of things, bro. Like you said, man, you don't want to be creepy, but it's like, damn, baby, this is what men supposed to do. It's the hunt. I'm in the grocery store, baby. You walk past me, you looking good. Hey, excuse me, like, excuse me. Oh, no, damn, I'm just saying hello. But, hey, man, you know, man, we good with rejection. We've been getting rejected our whole life, man. It comes with the territory, man.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
it is what it is.
Lying, man. If you're a dude, you better get used to rejection.
Oh, man, you fooling yourself if you ain't good with rejection, bro. You could have your best fit on, brother. She gonna reject you for her whatever in her head. Oh, and it's crazy because she'll be sitting in the corner and you watching her for the rest of the night, watch you. And it's like, you ain't say nothing when I said something, but it's just,
Well, they want you to go up to them.
Yeah,
Well, I
absolutely.
guess, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
Which I don't have a problem with.
yeah, it's a little.
But it's like you said, man, it's so different, man, because these women won't talk to you in public, man, but talk your head off in the DMs. And it's like, I'm not that guy. I want to have I have a podcast. You got a podcast. I like conversation.
Yeah.
I like to sit down. Hey, baby, let me get to know you. I don't do this whole, I'm going to get to know you through Instagram shit. No, we're not that. The first time I take you somewhere, it's going to be to Ocean Prime. No, hell no. No. We going to.
Well, and that's the thing too, you know, with you having your I-70 podcast, you watching your podcast, it's great. I love your
brother.
podcast,
I appreciate
man. I think you're doing a great job. It's very nice to see somebody come from the same kind of background as me, podcasting wise, of taking on guests by themselves.
Absolutely.
It's very difficult.
Very difficult.
You know, and people think that it's easy, and it gets easier over time. You know, it's just like working out, all about the reps you put in.
Yes,
man.
sir.
You know, it gets easier and easier. But yeah, man, so you know the feeling of being able to sit down with somebody with minimal distractions, no phone, no nothing, just speaking to them of how much you can connect to somebody.
And it's beautiful, man.
Know? Yeah, and we're losing that in the real world, you know.
And I hate it. I've always been that person who I yearn for just human communication, brother. I love it. And it's sad to see, man, like you just said, man, to see that, you know, these kids are being raised, they're socially awkward. They don't know how to talk in public and, hey, how you doing? I'm still that guy. I walk in Walmart. I'm speaking there. Hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? You know what I mean? Not on a creepy level, just human fucking interaction. Like, what's wrong with just saying, hey, how you doing? I like making people smile.
Yeah.
I tell a big girl quick, bro, hey, you look good today. I want to see her have a good day. She gonna get in her car and I've affected her whole mood. Like she finna go talk to her boyfriend and be like, you know, I feel good, babe. Let's go here. Just from me saying, hey, sweetie, you look good.
She's
today.
gonna be like, you need to give me some of that energy that John over here giving me.
As he should. You know what I mean? So yeah, brother, you right. Just the human interaction.
Oh yeah, dude.
I love it.
There was a saying one time that I read. It said, learn to date your wife or somebody else will, or learn to date your girlfriend or keep dating.
Yeah.
Them. You should never stop, man.
And I messed that up, bro. If I'm being completely honest, if I could be honest, like I said before, when I was in my last relationship, bro, I was a little boy. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I wasn't thinking like a grown man. To your point, I stopped dating that woman. I'm thinking like a little boy, unconditionally. Oh, she gonna love me, man. It's all good. No, brother. No, it's not how the game works.
No.
You got to. How you say it? Say it again. How you just say it?
What?
Remember to continue dating your woman.
Yeah. So
man, that's
basically, don't forget to keep dating your woman, or somebody else will.
Absolutely,
you know? and that is very true.
Yeah.
It's not right.
It's not
for
right
a woman to do that,
but it's our reality as men.
But it's reality.
Yes, sir.
You know? And also too, man. It should. I see a lot of men, bro. It's like they just, and I was there too. You know, where they just work and you go home and you don't do shit. And you just think, well, I'm a provider, you know, and I do this. But bro, she's gonna get fucking bored with you, you know? And then same on the woman too, bro.
Yeah.
The woman, just because you're there doesn't mean that you can fucking slack on a lot of shit either. And you guys should be helping each other. Man. And this is one thing I learned.
Go ahead.
Because at one point in my relationship, I put everything on the woman that I was with. You know what I mean?
I've been there, yeah.
Yeah. And it's sad because that was my reality, because that's what my mother did. My mother did everything, you know? But that's not always good to do, man. No. You know what I mean? Like you have to, because everyone's different. Yeah. You have to get to know your woman, see what works, and try to make each other happy. You know what I mean? So if she needs some help, she's doing everything. Plus, you ain't Andrew Tate, so she's probably working.
Yeah, man.
You know, you can't expect her to go and clean and cook and do all this stuff.
You can't.
I've been there, man. Like it's overwhelming for her.
For sure.
You have to help too, and plus that'll make her look at you as a valuable asset to her as well. Just like she's a valuable asset for you cooking dinner. You know what I mean? You can go wash clothes, you can help clean. And on top of that too, like we were talking about earlier, take care of yourself physically too. She wants something to be able to look at, just like a woman. You should be taking yourself as well. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And it's also, it is a little harder for women. I do get it, because caregiving wise, if they have kids.
Hormones.
Yeah. And that's a big job, is taking care of kids. So they don't have maybe as much time as a man. But you guys can figure it out, man. There's so many videos I see of couples working out together in the garage or
That's
at
beautiful.
the gym, you
Yep.
know, find one with the daycare, or fuck, bro, there's so many body weight exercises
Hell
that you can do.
yeah,
You
especially
guys,
women.
Yeah, you guys can be doing them prison style workouts. You ever seen them burpees?
Yeah.
Them dudes are fucking jacked.
Them motherfuckers be the best fit motherfuckers I've seen be the motherfuckers in prison. They ain't got no creatine, no steroids, no none of that shit. So
I know, bro, and it's crazy because, the problem is everybody, like, there's sometimes too much content out there, and you got to be careful because then you'll be procrastinating the whole time. You won't commit to it. You're just like, oh, I've seen this exercise. Oh, but I heard this exercise is better, and this. And it's like you're chasing, but you're just delaying starting. You know what I mean? Like, just fucking do it.
I say
you'd be surprised what some push-ups, body weight squats, and some pull-ups will do for you.
Man, it's beautiful you said that, man, because it's like we all need each other, man. Like, we sitting here and, you know, it's 2024. That's all I saw 2023 was division. You know what I mean? We all need each other, man. Like, it bothers me that women and men, we out here acting like we don't need one another. We getting on podcasts and demeaning one another and all that. We all fucked up in our own way. Man and woman. God built us differently. But, we need each other. He built us for each other.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, I just hope, you know, it ain't got to be this year or whatever. Hopefully this year, we just started to see us starting to get towards just, you know what I mean, a little bit of peace, man. All this divide and conquer shit is just...
The problem is that we're attracted to extremes. So extreme thoughts, and the extreme thoughts, it's like a pendulum. Yeah. So it swings to both sides. And one side is an extreme thought for this person, and the other side is an extreme thought for this person. So men and women. Yeah. You see these Cardi B's and all these girls out here that are on the and I'm not saying that she's the only one. There's all
plenty
sorts of different, that are like very women need to do this, and then there's also the men's side where it's like men need to do this, and it's not a fucking like this works only. Like
exactly,
you gotta, like we said earlier, you gotta piece that shit together for your own life, man, because everyone's relationships are different, man. But
two of my favorite lessons. My father, he say, everything ain't for everybody, and my grandmother, God rest her soul, she used to always say, baby, everything that glitter ain't gold. And that goes into the social media aspect. You look online and you see these lives, these individuals they living. Everything that glitter ain't gold. And that like you said, you've met individuals with plenty of money. Messed up, man. They not happy. They ain't got no peace, but they got a lot of money though. So, you know, it's all about piecing together, figuring out what you like, and taking things from certain people, man. And
money only goes so far, man.
Exactly.
You know, like I don't know, man. This whole rat race, we were talking about it earlier before we started recording, of the rat race of like, I got to get the most money and the most likes and the most I got to influence all these people like influencers, and I'm not knocking what they're doing, but don't forget that to actually live life, man.
Yeah, man. I mean?
There's nothing wrong with living a normal life.
Man, ain't nothing wrong with it.
Dude, there's actually a guy, I can't remember what his name is on Instagram, but he shows his normal everyday life, his 9-to-5 job, and he always puts on there, hey, don't forget that working a 9-to-5, it's not a bad thing. You know, you don't have to be like all these other people on Instagram, all these people that on these yachts and fucking Lambos and all this shit.
Fake, bro.
Because, dude, have you noticed that everybody trying to have a business right now?
Yeah.
And I'm not knocking them, because people could say the same thing about us. Everybody trying to have a podcast. I understand that. But are you doing it because you love what you're trying to do right now? Or are you doing it because you're just trying to make money? You know? And that's the difference. I do this podcast because I get to meet people like you. Absolutely. I get to meet other people that have been on the show. I get to create a friendship with these people that to this day, like when you leave, I'll get your number.
Absolutely.
We'll text. We'll bounce ideas and stuff off.
I gotta get you come on the podcast. Do you go on podcasts, bro?
I haven't been on a podcast.
I'm glad you just told me that, y'all. He ain't been on a podcast yet. It's good. Yes, sir. I'm glad I just asked that.
I'm not very interesting, like I told you in the DMs. So.
BS, bro. Because at the end of the day, you have to be interesting to do this. And while I'm on here, one thing I like to do, brother, I like to give people their flowers. What you do, brother, coming from an individual who do exactly what you do, being that I'm my only host, and, you know, it's not easy doing what we do, bro.
Yeah.
Being by yourself.
Yeah.
We don't do it for money. And I'm going to tell anybody out there with a podcast, if you are not a celebrity and you trying to do podcasting for money, you going to quit.
Oh, yeah.
You go quit. The views are not going to come how you want them.
Hell no.
I'm a year in, bro. I got a video with 38 views, and I don't give a damn because it's like, I'm in love with the process of this shit. You know what I mean? So back to giving you your flowers, brother. It is beautiful what you do. Your setup is amazing. You know what I mean?
I appreciate it.
And, man, it just goes to show, man, that what we doing is still early in it. Like you said earlier, man, like this podcast stuff is only going to grow. It's becoming the new form of media.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you, ESPN numbers are probably going down because, I mean, you got Shannon Sharp and all these new individuals who are former athletes with their own podcast. Real media, not that cookie cutter shit you getting on TV.
Yeah.
Music podcast, not that shit you getting on the radio. You getting real, uncut, raw. This is the new wave, brother. So I want to commend you for being in this space, brother, that we in, man. And you thriving in it because it's beautiful what you're doing.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Speaking of Shannon Sharp.
Go ahead, bro.
Did you see the Cat Williams podcast?
I think everybody with a podcast saw that one.
I know,
and we all was like, damn.
I was like, shit, Cat coming at him strong. Now, I'm back and forth on it, bro.
Yeah. Oh, let's talk about, I want to talk about this too.
Okay, so I'm a little bit on, he's going through some shit.
Yep.
You know? But then I'm on, like, he brought us some valid fucking points, man. It's kind of weird. And I know everyone's knocking him, talking about he needs mental health care and all that shit. But some of the things he brought up, like the dresses and all that shit, like
that's real.
The girlfriend thing I thought was
that
odd because
odd.
there was dudes creating compilations or like collages of all the people he talked about with their girls next to him, and I was like, oh damn, that puts it in perspective
for sure.
And then there was also one that this guy created with all of those actors, all the black actors in dresses.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? And Dave Chappelle brought that shit up a long time
ago.
Oh,
Dave Chappelle was pissed. Yeah.
Because that's why supposedly that was why he walked away from the Chappelle show.
That's what they say.
That's what they say. And I think he's kind of talked about it maybe. I thought he had like an Oprah interview one time, a long time ago, where he talked about it. I might be wrong on that.
Yeah.
But just like Dave Chappelle has talked a lot in his if you watch a lot of his stand-up comedy, he's one of my favorite comedians. And he will tell you how weird it is in Hollywood.
It is, man.
It's weird. It's culty and weird.
It's very.
And if you're sitting here and you're not going to say, okay, well, I can't say he's 100% wrong, you're crazy.
Yeah.
You're just as dumb as these people that say the government isn't corrupt.
And that's the thing with him. Like, this is what I took away from him. And it's how I do things, because I would never call myself a conspiracy theorist. What I like to do, though, I like to take the facts from conspiracies. Like, somebody be talking about conspiracy theory. I was like, okay, what can I prove? Okay, this is factual.
Well, the problem is they've tarnished that name.
Okay.
Conspiracy theorist.
Yeah, got you.
Now they make it just look like you're crazy.
Yeah.
When there's hundreds of conspiracies that have came to light and been found to be true. So.
No, that's real, man.
I wish they would change the fucking name.
Yeah,
for real. Because everybody's just like, Gabriel's a fucking conspiracy theorist. It's like,
no, motherfucker, I just think outside the box.
Yeah, through that whole time, especially, I was really hard on COVID, bro. I fucking hated that whole era.
You sound like one of my best friends, bro.
It pissed me off because I never denied that it wasn't real.
Right.
I was upset about how the government was handling it.
Absolutely.
Give people freedom of choice. I've said it many times. The medical field should have brought us these options for medicine and then gave us a choice.
Yep.
Not ban ones that they didn't agree with and say, no, but take ours because our buddies are Pfizer.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
or fire individuals who don't take it.
Yeah, or don't take it. I think that's fucking bullshit, man.
That was bullshit.
When all the statistics came out that fucking vaccine was bullshit to begin with. So it really pisses me off that they weren't allowing those guys. Some of these guys that, Joe Rogan and a lot of these other people that were interviewing, and I'm not saying everything they said was right. I can't stand there and say that.
Yeah.
But you can't look at me and tell me that there wasn't some shit that he was saying that was right.
And that's the importance of podcasting. It gives you
alternate media.
Man, bro. And I hate even that we got to say that about what we do.
That word, alternate.
Yeah. I hate that we got to say that, bro, because at the end of the day, what it is, and, being that we got podcasts, I'm going to go on and say it. Podcasting, to me, is where you're going to get the real truth. When you watch ESPN, watch whatever news outlet you watch, there's an agenda there. There's certain things they can't say, even if it is true. You can't utter these things.
You're saying ESPN, right?
What I say?
I don't know.
Did I say ESPN?
I don't know.
Shout out to the game. So ESPN,
okay.
Fox, whatever, whoever you watch, NBC, whatever, it don't matter. They go to a meeting in the morning and they get told what to say and what not to say. And no matter how passionate they are.
Or you ain't getting paid on Friday.
Or you ain't getting paid, motherfucker. So this alternate media thing we doing, hey, man, bro, it's more powerful than people think, man.
And it's genuine conversation. And even me and you can admit not everything we say is right.
Exactly. You know? Oh, without a doubt.
We know that.
No.
I've listened to some of my old podcasts, not even from this one. I had a podcast called Purple Pill. It's still out there if anybody wants to listen to it. But there's probably things I said that I don't agree with now because I've changed.
We grow.
You know? That was years ago,
Absolutely.
You know? And I believe as long as you change, you shouldn't be held for what you've said in the past,
Absolutely.
You know, because I can admit. Now, if you ain't admitting, if you're acting you know, some of these people out there that were showing their fucking, I got the vaccine stickers and shit, and now they fucking quiet as a motherfucker right now. I wasn't involved. I never promoted that shit. I never did. Yeah, okay, motherfucker. You were the one in my fucking DMs calling me that I was a piece of shit. And I was basically putting my family in harm's way.
Oh, so you was going through it during that time, huh?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I just had people that thought I was fucking nuts, bro. They were like, you're a part of the fucking problem, dude. They were bashing all of us on our podcast. It's like, and it's not like we got, hundreds of fucking comments, but there was people that didn't agree with it. They were pretty upset, you know? And it baffles me how, much people were able to hop on that train with no care of doing any independent research themselves. And I understand. Yeah. When you work a job, I mean, you are fortunate. We're able to listen to these things 10, 12 hours a day.
My whole shift.
Yeah. Yeah. So we are able to listen to these things, but some people don't.
Right.
They work in somewhere where they can't listen to stuff. And when you get off of a grueling shift and you come home and you got to take care of your babies, you got to take care of your husband or your wife, you got shit, you got to clean, you got shit. Some people got 2 jobs.
Absolutely.
They don't have the time, and they have to trust these talking heads because they'll get spit the information out in 3 minutes or 5 minutes or what, where an in-depth, when these conversations actually require a long form conversation. Mm-hmm. So it's very difficult for someone to do that when they don't have the time. So they're trusting these people, but they're trusting very corrupt organizations, man. I mean, it's sad.
It's sad, bro.
It's sad. It's sad that, and that's why I've never been the one to attack back. Mm-hmm. Like, if you're saying it to me, I'm going to say something back.
Right.
But I'm never the one to come back and push it in their face. Like, I've been around family members that have came to me and argued with me about my thoughts and beliefs on certain things. Mm-hmm. And now that they were proven wrong, I still see them. Yeah. But I've never been to be like,
told you.
Yeah, told you so.
Yeah, because I mean, and that's beautiful because it just goes.
And really, you should be humiliated.
Right.
Because I think being humiliated is a good thing.
It is.
I've been humiliated many times in my life. And some people will go at it 2 routes. They'll accept it and change, or they'll cower and they'll fucking just stay bitter and pissed off at the fucking world. Mm-hmm. Okay. But that shows who you are, man.
It shows who you are, man. Yeah.
And you don't have to be like that. Even if you do go that route, you can always change.
Yep. Always. And that's why, man, that's why I love what we do, having genuine conversations, man, because honestly, me speaking, and this may throw people off, bro, I've always wanted to sit down, bro, with an extreme racist white guy. Mm-hmm. I mean, KKK member, if I could. Because I think through conversation, brother, me and you will figure out, even just from talking to you, mm-hmm. you find out just how much you got in common with somebody just through one conversation.
Oh, yeah.
I don't give a damn what your grandfather taught you and, the ideologies and all that shit, bro. There's no way you can sit down with a genuine person mm-hmm. and not find something that y'all got in common, even if you don't like me.
There was actually a guy on Joe Rogan. I can't remember what his name is. A bigger black dude.
The black dude who went to the KKK meeting?
Daryl,
I saw that episode.
Daryl something, but that's what he said. And he's kind of against, like, when I say humiliating somebody, I don't mean fucking continue for years and bash these people and isolate them.
Right.
I mean, humiliate them at the point to where they see it. So at that moment, and then let it go.
And let it go.
Don't fucking go after these people's jobs and all this bullshit.
I hate that shit, bro.
Yeah, that's just fucking stupid for a mistake they made,
I hate
now,
it,
if they're continuing to fucking do some dumb shit, that's another conversation. But that man said, his name's Daryl Davis, and he said that he got tired of seeing where they were just basically bashed, which, I mean, one would say they deserve it because
Right.
it's a fucking stupid way of thinking.
Mm-hmm.
But he realized that these people were never given, like, they were brought up a lot that way, or
Without
they're
a
just
doubt.
fucking dumb as shit. Like,
Yeah.
they just have no guidance in their life, and they're looking up to these people that have welcomed them in,
Yep.
you know, and they're like, hey, we'll take care of you, but you got to believe what we believe. And so sitting down at the bar and talking to them and explaining to them that, dude, I'm no different than you, motherfucker. I put my shoes on the same way you do in the morning, you know?
And most of them motherfuckers be poor, and it's like, bro, if you poor, then me and you could talk about a whole lot.
And what did he say? He changed like fucking hundreds of
See what I'm saying?
KKK. They gave him their robes and
Come on,
shit.
man.
Like, he's like, I'm out. I see. This is a dumb way of thinking,
Bro.
man.
Through simple conversation, we will figure out all this, like you was talking about, white, black, Republican, Democrat. It is all a divide and conquer. This two-party system shit we doing, it been trash since the day they started doing the shit. It's continuing to be trash. You giving us two people to pick from.
Are you trying to go down this route?
Come on. I'm on to bring about podcast. You know what I'm saying? I be having people around me, you know what I'm saying? So I can't really do what you do. You know what I mean? Let's do it. Let's walk down this.
It's funny you say a two-party system because there's a lot more parties in the two-party.
Right.
Right. People don't understand.
You got independent.
Well, there's like the Green Party,
Right.
Libertarian Party. There's so
Yeah.
many different ones. I think there's like 13 of them or something like that. The problem is the Republicans and Democrats are kind of like basically holding everything between them. Like
Monopoly.
Yeah, basically like a monopoly. And they're keeping all these other parties from being able to get as big as they are. So just like the Libertarians, I have a lot of more view of libertarian.
Okay.
Now, the problem that keeps me from being libertarian completely is that my mindset says the saying that everyone knows, absolute power corrupts absolutely. So even if the libertarians were to get into office and win and start becoming like a Democrat or a Republican, like as big as they are, at some point it gets to the point where power starts to create corruptness and greed. And,
Absolutely.
you know, and I'm not saying that would happen, but through history, it's always happened.
Yeah, without a doubt.
So, but I do like the libertarians' views, and actually, a lot more people are libertarian than Democrat or Republican.
Okay.
The problem is that they think that if they vote for that people, it'll be a wasted vote.
I hear that because I remember, I think my first time voting.
Yeah.
Well, one of my first times voting, I remember I was younger, 18, 19, whatever I was, and I'm like, yeah, you know, I voted green. And I'll never forget on Facebook, Mark was like, oh, why would you do that? You'd have wasted a vote. I'm like, okay.
So you want him to sacrifice his vote to vote for a party that he doesn't believe in and know has not changed fucking anything? There was a saying that a guy told me a long time ago. He says the two-party system is basically two wings to the same bird.
And bro, whoever said that is the truth.
It is, bro. And
it's the truth, man.
It's sad. It was always a running joke at Purple Pill that we say that at the end of the day, these guys and girls are just toasting to each other. Basically going, let's keep this shit going.
Facts, man.
I mean, they're getting fucking paid. How many of these politicians are fucking millionaires, bro?
And they old millionaires at that. You know, I mean, these motherfuckers 75, 80 years old.
Some of them in there for 30 fucking years. And then not even that, bro. And it's funny because they think that a Trump or a Biden is going to fix the normal blue-collar, white-collar workers. It's like you guys gravitate to the small bone they throw to you and cherish this man. I mean, you wouldn't believe some of these people that cherish Donald Trump. Yeah. It drives me insane. And I don't think Donald Trump is a horrible guy. I think he's got some bad qualities. I think he's got some good qualities. And then you have some people that cherish Biden. Yeah. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
They all shitty people.
You think Biden gives a fuck about that dude? Don't even know where he's at half the time.
That motherfucker fell asleep at the podium, gang.
Yeah, he's over there sniffing babies and fucking doing weird shit, bro. Yeah. Like, and then you got these Trump guys, and they're always talking about how he's for the working people. And I'm all up for having somebody on to explain to me what he does for the working people. I know they always talk about taxes. And they talk about gas prices. That's usually the two things I fucking see all the time. I mean, gas is only like $2.50 right now. So it's like, oh, well, it was under $2 when Trump was in office. Okay, well, listen, guys, I'm telling you right now, if you want a person in office, please don't put some dude who's a fucking millionaire. Their ideas on what the working class needs is not gonna be real. Like that dude's been a fucking millionaire for how long? Billionaire for how long?
Yeah.
You know?
You think he gonna come help the working class? He a billionaire? You don't think he gonna give him and his buddies tax cuts? You think he gonna come help you?
If you want to put somebody in fucking office, put a dude that just fucking got off his shift, got voted fucking president, and then like he can help us out. You know what I mean? Man. Or just fucking. I'm pro small government. Yeah, you know.
I hear that. I never heard nobody say it like that before.
Yeah, very pro small government. And actually, I would stand to say that you're going to make more of a difference voting locally than you are federally.
Oh, so, without a doubt. I had to learn that becoming an adult.
But even then, man, it's just like, oh, dude, I don't know how to explain it to people. They think they need government in order to survive. It's like, oh, well, there'll be anarchy in the streets. A lot of the bullshit that goes on right now is because of government.
Oh, without a doubt.
Look throughout history on the shit they've done, the laws they've passed, the people they've incarcerated. You know, like, I mean, it may the same government that you guys and granted, there's different people in it. Yeah, some of them have been in there since these days.
Some of them motherfuckers, but majority of them are the same people.
They were making people drink out of different water fountains. You know what I mean? Different fucking water. Different water fountains. This was not that long ago.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago. No, so, that's right.
And that goes to the point we were talking about. Divide, conquer, power, control.
Yes, sir.
That's what the system was invented for.
Yep.
And would I love to have this unicorn idea of unicorn utopia of they're going to do everything they can to help us normal people. But that never fucking works.
They ain't how the game go.
Nah, it's not. And honestly, I blame the people more than the government because it's our dumbass fault that we're out here fighting each other, you know, over teams.
At 2020, for 2024, well, now that it's 2024, we should definitely have, majority of us should be at this point where we like, hey, man, fuck the bullshit. Let's sit down. You don't like my kind, sit across from me, bro. Let's talk.
They're scared.
Okay.
The government makes you scared.
Absolutely.
If you don't have us, there's going to be killings and all sorts
of
shit. Fear-mongering. Yes, it is.
Propaganda.
It's sad because I believe that we could have a world where government is not needed. Yeah. And if it is needed, it's for very small things, you know, not interfering in other countries, not over here dictating. You've got people in Washington, D.C. telling the people in the Midwest this is how you should do and live and all this bullshit. No. Stay the fuck in your lane. Yeah. Make sure all our fucking shit is taken care of. I would like to say make sure our fucking taxes are utilized correctly.
You know,
but that's not fucking happening, dude. And that's sad, bro. Like to keep increasing and increasing and increasing and not seeing anything from it. What are we seeing? Oh, but the roads.
Yeah.
We need it for the roads.
That should be killing me. Didn't it take y'all fucking 2 years to do the fucking roads?
I dodged 20 potholes yesterday going to fucking work, bro. It's ridiculous,
man. It's ridiculous, bro. I mean,
and to me, it's like I wish that they would give us a fucking some sort of summary at the end of the year of, hey, this is what we did with all your guys' tax money, but that ain't
because they know it's gonna say not shit at the bottom of the invoice.
Yeah, exactly.
And we gonna get to that. You know what I mean?
We send $80 million to this other country monthly. You know, we send it over here to our buddies. You know, we're funding this war over here.
And that's why that's what the shit bothers me, you know, in regards to politics. Because I mean, it's nothing. They pimping us. You know what I mean? Like you just said, man. Y'all tell us how we ain't got no money. But every week, bro, y'all sending $100 billion to some people do they send us money at all? Like, do they ever be like, here y'all go? Yeah. We fuck with y'all for sending us that little check last year.
I think maybe I see a couple $100 at the end of the year with taxes. I mean, it's fucking sad, bro. Come on, man. But yeah, and I got chicks out here with 4 kids that are getting 15 grand. You know what I mean? What
Big money.
Fuck is that about, bro? It's like you either help it, and then you got rich people out here only paying $800. What the fuck, man?
It's literally, and I didn't understand it as a young man, but now that I'm getting older, man, it's literally the middle class is shrinking, or if not shrunk already.
They're the ones funding this whole operation, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, and don't get me wrong, you know, rich people, you know, even if that small percent, I'm not saying all of them pay $800. Right. There's some that do, but they have more loopholes. They have better access to quality tax people to take care of all their shit.
Yep.
And then the poor, they're just fucking getting handouts.
We just
man.
out here.
Yeah. And that's actually a sad way to go, man. Like the way they treat the people that are going through poverty by just giving them money.
Yeah.
Worst fucking idea ever, bro.
You enabling them to be poor.
It's modern day slavery, bro. And
I
everyone rolls their eyes when I say that. What I mean by that is you're keeping them in a place to where they can't leave.
Yeah.
Financially.
Yeah.
Because if they get even a little bit of a better job,
we're gonna take that shit
Struggle
away.
City.
Yeah.
But if they stay here, they're doing a lot better.
Yeah.
But they're never gonna fucking do anything like
they
with their
forced
lives.
To stay there.
Yeah, they're forced to stay.
Yeah.
Hey, don't do any better because we're gonna cut this away.
Yeah.
Really, what I think what it should be is, I'm giving you 2 years. We're gonna help you, give you programs to figure out, get you on your feet, and after that 2 years, done, dog.
Hell, fuck 2 years. I mean, like I have no problem with assistance. You know what I mean? But I know growing up, seeing the things that I saw, in the community I grew up in, number one, when you give a woman Section 8, number one, the man got to be gone. So you already aided.
And you know he's not. He's in there.
He's in there. His ass hiding when y'all pull up. You know what I mean? But to get Section 8, you can't have a man in the household. So let's just say the man not there and that woman say, no, you can't be here. Now you have a one-parent household, so you already dividing this household already. You telling her, by law, that man can't be there if we give you this money. So that's already doing a detriment. And then, I mean, they can't go get more money. Like you said, they must stay there and be in that position.
Yeah.
Because the moment they try to better themselves, okay, yeah, let me get that
and
back.
it's just creating more problems for them. What ambition do they have to get their life better? They're just going to keep doing the same stupid shit that got them there. You know what I mean? And I understand everybody needs a handout at some point. I'm not for taking away handouts. I'm for helping people. But when is it destructive? You know what I mean? When does it keep you? I know people that come from that, man. It's like you just don't see any type of improvement.
It's rare.
It's
like,
rare,
man.
Yeah, like you see every now and then you hear a story about a guy making it out.
Yeah.
Making millions, or just normal guys making it out, getting a good job and getting out of there. But I think that it would be bad, man. Like if they cut it off, let's say they cut it off at the middle of this year.
Okay.
It would be a bad scenario.
Yeah.
You would see death.
Yeah.
It would be horrible. But what's the other option? Run this bitch until it can't run anymore, and then there's no money to fucking help people?
No, that's cold that you put it that way.
Yeah.
Run this bitch till we can't run no more. And it seems like that's what we're doing as a country.
Because what's money worth right now? Nothing, really.
Yeah,
I mean, they're just printing this shit, you know?
Yeah.
How long can that be sustained? Because you have many people that have background in financing that are saying right now that at some point this bubble's going to burst. And when it'd be, I don't fucking know.
Man.
But
seem like everybody gearing up for it.
Yeah, I know.
And man, I want before we move on, you said, it's like modern day slavery, man. I want to say this. I want to agree because I want to say poverty is not an accident. We sitting here talking about government and all this. Poverty is not an accident. Okay. These people, the powers that be, they know how to fix poverty, but it wouldn't. America needs poverty is what it seems like. This capitalist society seems like we need poverty.
Well, capitalism isn't a bad thing.
Oh, and I love it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
But it's just greed, man. Greed's fucking... I mean, if you go back, I was just listening to a documentary on the Rockefellers and just how they were treating workers back then, by paying them barely any wages to live, horrible working conditions, all sorts of stuff. And the thought process is always the same in a business owner. Max profit and only pay out very little.
Right.
It's always max profit. Not all businesses, but a majority of them, like we said. But it's just that continued deal. Now, the poverty thing, I mean, you can go back to, a long time ago with zoning laws for minorities and all sorts of shit. You know what I mean? So that too, that played a huge part, and also just individuals, man. Some individuals just don't want to, get out of it.
Oh no, you got some lazy motherfuckers now.
Yeah, you got some lazy motherfuckers, and they'll hang on to that victim mentality, and you can't do it. It's like a dude that can't get over that ex-girlfriend. Yeah. He's stuck. Yeah. He can't move the fuck on, man. And but you say that, and you'll have people say, well, that's very harsh to say. when only, let's say back in the 60s, so what is that, 60 years ago, there was the 60s and the 50s and horrible things that minorities were going through. I'm not taking that away. What I'm saying is what do we do? Stay there and linger? Or move on? You know what I mean? I grew up in a 2 household. My mother's white, my father's Hispanic. Okay. So I have seen both sides growing up, you know what I mean? And I think that has kind of broadened my perspective and not narrowing my vision on one race. Right. You know what I mean? We all have issues. We all have problems. And then to bring in the poverty side of it doesn't make it any better, you know, because we're already dealing with issues here and there. Yeah. But like, I have seen individuals, man, like just hang on the coattails of the government and just don't want to advance because like they got a little cushion, you know what I mean? Like was there a reason to? No, there's not. And it's gonna, over time, it's not gonna lead anywhere. No. You know?
You can't have a victim mentality, man. And like, take it from me, like I said before, if y'all.
And that's why those areas grow too. Like right now, that's why they're growing, you know, and it's fucking hard to live out here. Look at the economy, man. Fuck, 10 years ago, you paid 100, or 7 years ago, you paid $150 for a full cart. Now you're paying $250.
Listen to me, man.
Of groceries.
It's the whole, and take it from me, man, I could have that victim mentality. You know what I mean? If I wanted to, you know what I mean? But like we've been saying, and you know, the truth is, man, the truth is the truth, right? What's facts is facts. Poverty is real, redlining, zoning, you know, institutional racism.
No one's denying history.
Right. All that is true.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is this, and I'm gonna speak for men. You can't just accept it and keep it moving. You know what I mean? Like, because accept your reality and keep moving. Like you brought up the ex-girlfriend part. That was beautiful. Because it's like, okay, bro, she left you. Deal with it. Now move on. Don't sit back and just, me, because it ain't going to get you nowhere. You sitting back, and we speaking about poverty. I grew up in poverty. I chose not to go those same routes. I'm 29, no kids.
And make it your identity. Yeah.
I could have been a baby daddy. Come from the area I come from. There's plenty of them. Yeah. I think I'm the only motherfucker who come from my area who ain't got no kids yet. Yeah. But I didn't want to be that. I didn't want to be nobody baby daddy. I ain't want to, you know, I got in trouble growing up, but I made a decision about high school that I'm like, bro, this is not going to be my reality. And it helped me because I have a best friend who's he won't be out until I'm 35. He in prison. He won't be out until I'm 35. I got another one of my best friends. He don't come home till April. He been gone for some years. So it's like, I chose not to make that me. And everybody has a choice, man. We all got a choice. You can live the life you want to live. And should nobody tell you how to live your life? It's yours. You know what I mean?
What do you think made you have that perspective?
Ooh, that's a great question.
Because you know we got all those friends, man. They're just stuck in what everyone else is saying. You know what I mean?
I'll say this. It goes back to me always liking to talk to elder people. Them gentlemen from them 80s, or them 70s babies who did time in the 80s and 90s, when they came home, I used to love just sitting around them, and they would give me wisdom. Like, so what made me change was this. In the midst of me being outside, getting in trouble, I'm hanging around with guys who are quote unquote thugs, criminals, whatever. Yeah. But then you got a OG who come home who did 35 years, and he's sitting on the porch saying, hey, all this shit y'all doing is whack. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna get fucked in the ass when you go to prison. You know what I mean? Just all those things, bro. Like, just listening to that kind of shaped my mentality. Like, I want better for me. You know what I mean? And that's simply what I'm doing, man. It's like, I just want better for myself.
Well, you also, I've heard that you went to a different school too.
Okay. Yep. Absolutely. So
I feel like that kind of opened up. I had Suge Easy on. I don't know if you've seen that one. But he said that the way he is because he was able to travel. Yep. And see different ways of living. And I feel like that's the key.
That better.
Yeah, that's the key, man. You know what I mean? And that's how I feel about myself. Yeah. There was a point when I was younger, I was all about my Mexican side. Everything. That's all it was about. But as I got older, I think what helped me is I was never fully accepted in the Mexican community. Okay. And I was never fully accepted in the white community, even though my skin is as white as theirs, you know? But the way I acted, the way I dressed, my thought process on things didn't correlate with them. Yeah. And then on the Mexican side, even though my way of thinking, my dress and a lot of stuff was the same as what they were doing, my skin was an issue.
You just,
Yeah. So it was sad. I never felt, and this isn't to boo-hoo me, but I'm just explaining that I never felt like I had a community to be a part of.
That's a very interesting concept, though, being biracial and everything.
So what I did is I kind of, as I got older, I realized, well, I don't fucking need anybody.
Yeah.
But I'm going to love all cultures.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so that's when I started, not trying to identify so much with one, you know what I mean? And more of be open to all.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what led me to podcasting, just because I love to see everybody's way of living.
Mm-hmm. Me too,
me and
bro.
you have a different way that we were raised. People I've been on the show have had Suge Easy was telling me he lived in Japan, and I think it's just good to get out of that circle and go out there and see, because when you're stuck in that circle, man, and that's all you hang around, and that's all you're gonna have, ideas and ways of thinking that aren't realistic.
Yeah, that's real.
You know what I mean?
That's a good point.
Not every white dude is the same. Not every black dude is the same. Not every Mexican dude is the same.
Right.
We're all different, and to believe that one race is this way, it's kind of naive.
It's very, and I'm glad you brought that up, because I want to tell your audience that, man, growing up, I come from a very volatile neighborhood, but every day my mama bust us out to the suburbs to go to school. So I went to a predominantly white school, K through 12. So you right, man, seeing them kids and them driveways with their bikes pushed over and grass cut and front door wide open, and seeing them come to school with their Aeropostale and Hollister on, it did something to me, and it made me want more. You know what I mean?
They definitely need to stop leaving their doors wide open, because there's a lot of fucking crime shows out there about dudes stalking your wife and trying to rape her and shit like that.
It used to stun me, because coming from the hood and then going to the suburbs, it was just a total shift. And I'm like, y'all in there eating dinner, front door just wide the fuck open.
Yeah, it's like, how did Susie get murdered and raped?
I'm gonna tell you how.
They left the fucking door open.
Man. And it was beautiful, man. I'm glad you made me bring that up, because I wasn't gonna say that. You know what I mean? That's my truth. Yeah. Going to them predominantly white schools changed my perspective, because I couldn't, to your point, man, I couldn't go home. Well, I couldn't come home and be like, man, fuck all white people, because it's like, nah, I got some homeboys who I'm super cool with, like, them my dogs. And you know what I mean? As we got older, it remained the same, man. I couldn't have those all white people bad type of mentality. You know what I mean? Because it wasn't my truth. I'm going to school with good folks.
I always tell people, man, like, I got I think I got more shit from my Mexican side, bro. You know what I mean?
That's real.
Like,
everybody
wants to say that white people are racist. Yeah. There is white people that are racist. But there's a ton of other minorities that are racist too. Black people.
Now, let me ask you this. I'm glad you brought that up. Oh, now, when we say racist, and you can speak on it.
That term is used very loosely.
There we go.
Too.
That's what I was going to get to. Yeah, there you go. You got it.
Yeah, and the problem is now everything's racist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? God forbid you say something racist.
Yeah.
And it's not, like, to me, racism, bro, is literally you don't fuck with that other race and you want them to fucking die. You know what I mean? That's racism. Yeah. I feel like that's what it used to be. Now, if you say a joke, or you're fucking say something that maybe can be statistically proven, I don't see how that's racist. That's just identifying what is going on. You know what I mean? Like, hell, like, that's what it is. You know what I mean? Fucking Mexican people like tacos. Yeah. Is that racist to say? Fuck no.
You ask some Mexican to comment.
No, I love tacos. Every Mexican I know loves fucking tacos. You know what I mean? Shit. So we're using that fucking term loosely, man. And it pisses me off, because it's watering down the word. Yeah.
I always say, I use the word prejudice.
Prejudice?
Yeah. I think everybody, if you're an American citizen, you are born with some sort of prejudice with you. You know what I mean? Because, I mean, here in kind of everywhere, but I can only speak as a U.S. citizen, you live around, most communities are of that people. Like, if you live in a community, you're usually going to live around all white people, all Asian people, and blah, blah, blah. You may have some few, mixed in, but it's always usually predominantly this. And we grow up with a certain prejudice to us, you know what I mean? Because I feel like being prejudiced, you just don't know. You know what I mean? Prejudice meaning, like, I said, get your taco eating ass on. And you like, motherfucker, I don't even eat tacos. And it's like, that was my prejudice coming out saying, because I felt like that's what I needed to say to you.
But was it funny, or was it out of
my point is this.
Malicious intent?
Yeah. It has to be funny. I love comedy. You can say a racist joke, just make sure it's funny, bro.
Yeah,
Don't get up there and say no bullshit.
People who don't say crazy shit to their friends
Yeah.
that would probably get a crazy reaction. If you tell me you don't do that, you're lying.
You lying.
You're lying.
You lying.
Come on. Now.
And that's why I be wanting everybody. One thing I say about Trump, and matter of fact, I'll give you my opinion on it. I felt like he could have been a dope ass president if he didn't take the route that he took. Meaning, he felt like he had to fall with the Bible Belt racist motherfuckers, and not everybody who voted for Trump is racist. I want to put that out there. The individuals who champion him as their spokesperson. He did himself a disservice to the black community by saying, "Yeah, these my peoples," because it made us go, "Oh, damn, Trump! Like you've been in our rap song since we was kids. Like we loved Donald Trump."
But that's the problem, that he went the route of trying to get likes, basically.
Yeah, real shit.
But votes.
It's
the only difference.
Yep.
And but yeah, man, like you said, not every fucking Trump person is racist. And but it's, I don't know, man. It goes back to that whole culty deal, man. It's like I see a lot of people that are just big Trump guys, man, and it's weird, man.
It's weird.
It's like football.
Yeah.
Football's cool. I love football. But people get culty with their teams, Like, God forbid you say something to this team about this team, and they're like, they'll fight you in the parking lot.
Come on, bro, relax.
Over an NFL team, bro. Just like people are fighting each other and losing family members' relationships because of another dude. He reps a different color.
Shit is crazy.
And they're like, well, they dictate our way of life. Motherfucker, they throw you a bone and tell you to shut the fuck up.
Absolutely.
They ain't doing shit.
Nah, man.
You want to see real freedom, kick them all the fuck out.
Yeah.
Kick them all out and get some new people in there.
Yeah.
Then you'll see some change, man, and get some actual good people. But the problem is all the good people don't want to run for that shit.
No.
Why? Because they know how it is.
Great point.
There's no advancement in there, bro. There's been politicians for 30 fucking years in there. How are you supposed to advance when their circle around them keeps you out?
I mean, for instance.
And then they blame the people.
Exactly.
It's because you didn't vote to get the motherfucker. George Carlin said this shit a long time ago.
Love George Carlin.
Yeah, he was like, how are you going to get upset with me that I don't vote? You're the one that's supporting this.
Yeah.
Not me. I didn't participate.
Yeah.
I'm the one being affected by it because you guys keep funding this shit, basically. It's ridiculous, man.
And I love individuals like him, man, because those type of individuals, they don't say what they say what needed to be said, no matter who the race is. George Carlin, I loved how he would go at his own race because you can't say nothing to him because he's white. You know what I mean? What can you say to him? You know what I mean? I love when people do that, speaking truth, man, because at the end of the day, it's a lot of bullshit going around, a lot of ideologies and dogmas that we don't need to be subscribing to because it's for likes. You have a bunch of individuals who make content and podcasts strictly for likes. There's no genuine side to them. They're going to say what was going to get clicks. Just like with all these relationship podcasts and shit. I'm so tired of seeing that shit.
Oh, yeah.
Men come on and get these young college girls who 22 to sit across from them and bite their fucking head. She's 22. Of course you think better. You on your shit. Like, she can't go with you as far as talking. Like, I hate that, bro.
Yeah, I used to watch Fresh and Fit a lot. And actually, I liked them a lot in the beginning. I thought that what they were doing was actually really good. But it just ends up going a little too extreme again.
The only thing you do is
if you just bringing hoes on this whole time, you know what I mean? Like, what are you going to get out of that?
Yeah.
And then it starts to become trying to get likes and views and stuff. And which I'm not knocking them. And I think they have had some like normal chicks on there. But I mean, the majority of the time, that's what sells. And that's what they're
sells,
doing.
Man. No,
you
you're
know
right.
what I mean?
That's what sells.
And to me, it's just like, don't get me wrong. Some of them girls needed that shit. You know what I mean? I mean, they're being fucking ridiculous.
You was getting ready to say the message that they was putting out, I enjoyed it because it was needed. I just don't like it when that's every time I turn, because he's the guy, Myron, smart guy. I mean, he was FBI.
Yeah, FBI or ATF or something.
He was financially literate. Like,
I'm not saying that makes him any smart because a lot of those dudes that work for those organizations are idiots.
Facts. You know what I mean? But it was so much more. They didn't have to just go that route. I like what you do, what I do is a conversation podcast. I don't have necessarily a niche, if you will. I'll talk to anybody. I like
the problem is what we're talking about is good stuff, but people are so attracted to the sexiness of like the reality TV shows, the fighting, the shit that gets the eyebrow raised.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Is ridiculous, man. if you were to listen to an actual normal conversation, you would gain so much more information than you would the shit like we're talking about, Fresh and Fit. Now, you can gain some good things out of Fresh and Fit, but a lot of the times what I see is these guys like the Myrons and the Andrew Tates and stuff, they preach some good stuff. I'm not going to hold that from them. They say a lot of good stuff. And I like Andrew Tate. I really like Andrew Tate. I like him a lot. I listen to a lot of his stuff.
Yeah.
But just like George Janko said on his podcast with Andrew Tate, he goes, how are you going to preach all this and then pretty much not hold up to it? You know what I mean? Like, how are you going to talk about the nucleus of the family and keeping the mother and the father together, but you're out there just fucking hoes in the club, and you got your daughter and your baby mama, you know, you take care of them or whatever, but you're not being the example. And I'm not saying that you have to be. Yeah. It's not your fucking job.
Practice what you preach, though, basically.
But practice what you preach. Yeah. You know, and actually, I would recommend a lot of people go listen to that George Janko podcast.
As soon as you said it, I put it right here in my brain.
There was part 1 and 2 of that, and I actually liked that guy. It was actually the first time. I've seen him on the Logan Paul stuff, but he started his own. I liked his not going with Andrew Tate on some of the things he was talking about, actually challenging him on thoughts. Because that's where the most knowledge comes from, is when you're being challenged. Yeah. Not silenced. Challenged. You have to. Yeah. And but yeah, man, I thought that was really good. And you know, when religion gets involved, if someone's not religious, it's like they turn it off. Okay.
Yeah, I'm with you. And
if someone is religious, they'll watch. But like me, I've dabbled in and out of religion.
Me too.
I don't think that there was a point in my life where I fucking hated it, and I was just upset with all of it because a lot of the shit I've looked at. And then now at the stage I'm at now, I believe it's needed. Yeah. I believe that people should have the right and access to something that makes them feel a part of a community and gives them hope, and whatever it is in this road of life that we have, a feeling of like understanding life. Yep. You know,
that's what it is.
Yeah, not necessarily, I guess, not understanding life, but being okay with it.
Yeah, making sense of it.
Yeah, making sense of it in a way. To them,
right? Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I don't. But my thing is that he talked a lot about religion, and I just hope people look past that and more of what they're talking about, because it was actually some good stuff that they were discussing. But yeah, that really stuck out to me, man. It's just practice what you preach, man.
Say that, bro.
And right now, I see in the comments, I see all this bullshit of people just talking. And hey, I'm not a saint. Yeah, I could do more too. But I'm trying to on this show.
You doing, man? You're doing it, bro. You're doing it. You are taking action, brother.
And I'm not right on everything. Right. I'm not. There's a lot of things I'm wrong on. I understand that. I'm willing to admit that. Yeah. Okay. If I have somebody on this show that can explain to me things I'm wrong on, I'm willing to think about it. Yeah. I have become at an older age able to understand that I'm not always going to be right. Because when I was younger, I always thought I was.
Man, it's
right.
beautiful getting old as a man. Yeah, man, it's beautiful, man. And your shit just started being clearer. You know?
Oh, yeah, it gets clearer, but you have to open yourself up to that.
Yes, sir.
There's a lot of old dogs that aren't being able to talk new tricks. You know what I mean? And that, dude, if you get to that point to where you're so stuck in your ways, you might as well be fucking dead, bro. You're never gonna grow. You're gonna be nothing. The same way?
Yeah, nah.
That don't make any sense, you know?
I mean, even with us, the kids of the 2000s and later, they got this social media game on lock. Like, we kind of
But not everything is social media.
True.
And me and you are saying this, and our podcasts are based off of social media. Yeah. I love social media. It's a good thing. But fuck, man, get out there in the real fucking world, dude.
And that's what I'm saying. You have to do both.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's a good tool.
It's a great tool. Yeah. Use it as matter of fact, I'm gonna let you speak on that. Using it as a tool, but
okay, it's just like a gun.
Okay,
a gun is a tool.
Absolutely.
It can defend you, or you can go out on a fucking shooting rampage. Does that make it something bad? Yep. It's not bad. Depends on how you use it. Same way with the hammer. I can hit you in the head with it, or I can hit a nail into a piece of wood and build a house. Yeah, it's a tool.
No, you're right, man.
Social media, it can be great. It can connect you. I met you, so that was an awesome connection. But I can also make it my life and literally do nothing with my actual real life.
Just be like this all day.
Just scrolling, trying to get dopamine hits off these reels. You know, you can't.
And that's crazy.
Moderation. Moderation is everything. Look into Stoicism, people. Stoicism has been a huge, like, just game changer for me.
Break that down for me. If you don't mind. Stoicism. I ain't never heard that before. I don't know what that means.
So Marcus Aurelius has a book called Meditations.
I know what that is.
Yeah. Read that book.
Say it again. What's the book name? My bad.
Meditations.
Meditation. Gotcha.
I actually have it. I'll show it to you here. It's almost like a Bible. It was his journal. Okay. If anybody wants a good breakdown from it, you know, I'm not the greatest teacher. Ryan Hall he actually was on JRE. He has a YouTube channel. Just type in Ryan Hall. But he will explain to you Stoicism. And kind of how I chalk it up to is, and this is kind of a way I look at it, and like I said, it doesn't mean it's right, but keeping feelings out and looking at things objectively in life.
Absolutely.
We involve feelings way too much, and sometimes feelings can fuck us up. Chasing happiness.
Yes, sir.
Chasing all sorts of, like, this chase of, I need. And sometimes you just need to sit the fuck back and just relax, and go through things without involving emotion.
But see that, bro, that's grown man advice that you giving, bro. And that's what I'm saying. Getting old as a man is so beautiful for all the young men that's gonna watch this. It's beautiful getting older, man, because the things, like, life just start to make sense. I don't know what it is. It's getting old as a man.
Well, like usually every 5 years you change.
Okay.
That's kind of what I chalk it up to.
Every 5 years.
Yeah, maybe that's different for different people. I'm not saying it's for everybody, but I believe every 5 years, because that's what happened to me. You know, if you looked at me at 25, I was a different person. You looked at me from 20, I was a different person.
Absolutely.
The reason I've changed is because I've gone through things that have fucking bumps in the roads, trial and errors, the shit I've gone through that has affected my life. You go through it and you learn.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And you keep adapting, changing the way you go about what you do. And in time, you'll create habits that are healthier, that will actually benefit your life, you know? And you got to keep going. Like, I'm hoping at 35, I'll be, you know, even better. And 40, you know, you get better and better, and you're able to just deal with shit, man. Like,
that's what it is. You can deal with shit. Yeah, I couldn't deal with it at 25. Oh, that shit used to break me down to my knees, bro. Just little shit, just day-to-day life would just, man. I know more, man. It's kind of, I take it in stride, bro. Like, come on.
It's hard, man. There was a quote on Yellowstone. I like that show a lot. And it was the older cowboy looked at the younger guy. I can't remember what his name was. He was like a meth head in the beginning and then became like a bull rider. But he just looked at him. And I don't remember the exact words, but it was kind of like this. He was like, basically, once you become a man, like, it's not what you thought.
Man.
You know?
Yeah,
like,
man.
And you know, your eyes open up to all the shit. Like, you didn't know it was going to be like that, bro.
Exactly.
You know, when you're a kid and you look at these movies, you're like, that's what my life's going to be. Even though maybe you see different in your home, but you're like, nah, that's what it's going to be. And it is obtainable, but you're still going to go through shit.
Man.
You know? But
it's
up to you to change it.
Yep.
It's not going to be given. You have to figure it out.
Yep.
You know?
And young men, we don't, as a young man, I didn't deal with that well at all. But man, as I get older, like I said, adversity, any form of it, I'm just like, it make me feel alive a little bit. It's like, okay, it's an understanding. I don't need what I'm getting down in the dump for. It's all right. I'm gonna get through it. It's gonna be okay, bro. Like, ain't even no need to stress about it. That'd be my thought. What you stressing for, John? So
let's take a quick bathroom break and we'll come back.
Gotcha.
All right, we're back. So I kind of wanted to dive into your podcast a little more. I know we've been just talking about all sorts of shit.
It's been a good one. I've enjoyed myself, bro.
Yeah, I enjoy it too, man. You know, I know we were just talking during the break that, you know, some people aren't big fans of it, of the spider webbing off of different topics, but I've always liked that, bro.
I love it, man. Yeah. Like, and I think it's because it keeps it organic. You know what I mean? You can tell when it's that cookie cutter, what you said earlier, Good Morning America shit. Or, you know what I mean? Oh, where'd you work when you was 16? Like, you can tell, like, and then everybody do that all day long. You know what I mean? I want to have a good, and like you said, a conversation, you bounce around. We don't stand.
Plus, it's very difficult to talk for as long as we do. Very difficult.
Thank you, bro.
Like we were talking about, everybody's like, oh, you got a podcast just like everybody else.
Yeah.
Have you ever been on one?
Have you ever been on one?
Have you ever fucking tried to do one?
Come on, man. And it's going to be no and no.
Not even that. Just go on to I-70 and be a guest.
Yeah.
Let me know if you can do that.
Come on, man.
You know, because it's difficult.
It's very difficult.
Very difficult.
And then they don't. The fact of the matter is this: if I was a horrible host, it'll be more difficult. You know what I mean? At least I know if you don't talk, I will.
Imagine if you had to rely on your guests to fill your content.
Hey, the individuals who out there doing that, I don't know how you do it.
They don't do it for very long.
Yeah, man. Because when I've had those guests where I'm just like, bro, I'm really gonna have to carry this shit for an hour, bro. All right, come on, let's do it. Like, let's get it over with because this is what I came here to do. So that's the art in it. And then of course they all think we just turn the camera on. Me and you just spoke off camera. It take us a week to get ready for our guests. I said that 2 episodes ago. It take me a week because I'm watching episodes. I'm taking notes. I'm not trying to ask the same shit you said on that one. So I mean, it's a process.
It is a process.
They're gonna stop talking bad about podcasters though. We good people, man.
Yeah, man, I think it'll come around.
For sure.
I still think we're in the baby stages of podcasting.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of people out there that don't listen to podcasts. Or they're just naturally gravitated towards the blue checkmark ones. I don't know why.
And that should be...
When you have local ones here, I told you that I used to listen to the No Solutions one. You know, they were actually the first local podcasters I seen here.
Yeah.
And they started theirs almost around the same time I started Purple Pill, my first one. That's actually the reason I found them is because I started looking up local podcasts and there's 100 sports podcasts. But who wants to listen to that shit all day? Some dudes love knowing the statistics of grown men, like to a T, bro. Like I swear to God, bro, they know more about these dudes than their wives, bro.
Yeah.
It's insane. But if that's what you like, I'm not going to knock you. Go for it.
Yeah.
But I think to the people that are seeking, it is like a community. I know people are like, well, it's online. But, dude, you get to know these people these hosts that are running these podcasts because you're hearing the vulnerable side to them, some of the mistakes they made, some of the things they're not proud of, you know, like, and also the good things or maybe things that are relatable to you, you know, and they live not far from you.
Man. And that's the dopest part.
Yeah.
Through conversation, man, we would realize individuals who have, you know, you said it earlier, the extremes, the people who are on extreme sides.
Well,
they're afraid to go have that conversation with that person on the other side because you know deep down it's gonna be, number one, that person's gonna make you check that bullshit you got up in your head. Yeah, because you'll be like, oh well, you'll come to a common ground. You ain't gonna agree on everything. You probably agree on one thing, but that'd be that one thing. Like
majority of fights happen online. That's really what it is. I've tried getting on my last podcast some people in that were giving me shit online to actually talk about it.
Yeah, beautiful.
They don't want to.
Of course they would.
They don't
man.
want to.
Hell no.
I think once you get in front of the cameras, you know it's going to be in front of a lot of people because what people don't realize is maybe our videos only get 150 or whatever it is views. But if you were to set John on a stage and there was 150 people there that view your videos, that's a lot of fucking people.
So I never thought about it that way, bro.
It's a lot of fucking people, bro. And man, it's crazy because, and people don't understand that. They look at 150 views and they just, that ain't shit because they see these people with millions. Yeah. But man, that's a lot. And it's a little scary. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know who's watching my shit. You know, it can be a little intimidating at some point, but you just got to go, man, I'm going to look like an idiot at some point on here. I'm sure I have. And there's going to be people that don't agree, but I don't care. You know, because what this is doing is helping me meet people like we talked about. Yep. And it's helping me grow. Yep. So, and that's what I like. And I hope I'm helping other people. I hope there is reoccurring viewers. I don't know if there is. I hope there is. And, you know, I hope they reach out. They become a part of a show. We were actually talking about, I was explaining to you that one day, I've always had this vision in my mind when I started the very first podcast, that one day I see like a lot of the local Kansas City podcasters in one event being able to shoot the shit and bounce ideas and it become a thing, a community, a little universe, you know? And I just think that'd be just amazing. You know, it'd be so cool to see especially here in Kansas City, where there's not too many just regular podcasting on normal conversations.
Yeah.
But yeah, I see it in my head all the time, just us in a circle, just fucking talking. You know what I mean? Like helping each other, bringing each other up, man.
Because that's what's needed.
Competition is fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's fun to, I'm number one. You know what I mean? Like it's fun.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to it, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It in this game, I think just creating relationships and a community and helping each other, because we're all going to feel burnt out at some point.
For sure.
Bringing each other up,
Yeah.
you know, I think that's the key,
Yeah.
you know, because there's going to be a handful of people that are watching these podcasts, and this is like what they love.
Yeah.
Either your show or my show.
Yep.
They really, it is their escape or what helps them. You know what I mean? I definitely see it happening. I think it's going to take some time. I think this right here is a creating a good bridge.
For sure.
You know what I mean? And for other podcasts too. I mean, I hope other podcasts reach out to you and me as well, and we can make things happen. And I've seen even you guys are good at doing events. You guys did like a boxing event.
That's all Eastside, man. That boy, I told you, he the mad scientist, man.
Man, I'd love to meet him, because I think what he's doing at the No Solutions is very good. You know what I mean? Like taking the stress of having to provide equipment or have equipment, having to edit and do all the shit in the background that nobody sees. It's hours of fucking, you know what I mean? Of sitting there and you know, podcasts like mine that are, you know, we're going on 2 hours right now. It's like, it can be fucking, it could be a monster.
No, for sure.
Because you've got to make sure your audio is decent, which I hope mine's at least decent. You know what I mean? It's the best I can do.
Yeah, yours be sounding good.
I'm still learning more, so it's going to improve over time. But then you got to watch that shit, post edit. You got to switch, you know, do all that camera angle shit, man. That's all done manually. You know what I mean? And it's a beast, man. So for them to take that workload off of, you know, the host is a beautiful thing, man. You know, I love what they're doing over there, and I hope they continue to keep doing that stuff. You know what I mean?
Because for me, man, it's like I always look at it like it's like a match made in heaven. You know what I mean? That I ran into Eastside. You know what I mean? Like I always tell the story.
How did you guys meet?
So two friends of mine, they had a podcast under No Solutions, and they asked me to be a guest. You know what I mean? We worked together. I was good at talking, this, that, and the third. So both of the hosts was like, "Hey, John, you want to come on?" I'm like, "Sure." So I go on, and right when the episode ended, bro, he walked in. Yeah, was like, "Hey, bro, you want your own podcast?" 'Cause I literally took over the show. You know what I mean? Not, you know, deliberately. It was just like, you know, they was just allowing me to, you know, because they was kind of just, and I'm like, you know what I mean? So he come in and he say, "Hey, bro, you want your own podcast?" And I initially told him no. I'm like, "Nah, I'm cool, bro."
Really?
Like, yeah, I wish I never thought about having a podcast. I watched them.
What stopped you?
I don't know, man. It just it wasn't there. Like it never was podcasting.
You just didn't think it was feasible.
There got to be what it was. Yeah. Like it literally just wasn't
you're like,
on my brain.
Who's gonna want to listen to me?
Like I'm like, nah, I'm cool. You know what I mean? And he was like, "Yeah, bro, you want your own podcast?" I'm like, "Nah, bro, I'm cool." But man, something happened, man. I went home and I just started talking to, you know, my family and friends, and it was like everybody was just like, "No, you doing a podcast, bro?" And I'm like, "No, I don't want to do no." They like, no, bro, do the podcast, bro. Like, because at this time I'm trying to break into the real estate world because that's my passion is real estate. And my homeboy's like, "No, but listen to me." He's like, "That podcast shit, you can do that in your sleep, bro. Like that's not work." And to go to your point, we were talking off camera to start. It don't feel like work what I'm doing, man. Like I love to do this shit. I love to talk. I love to get guests and all that and get to know these people. So I told him no, and then I want to say like a week or so later, I hit him back up like, "Hey, bro, let's do it." And he like, "All right, come on, just come in, let's do an episode." He was like, "You gonna be by yourself?" I'm still just green, like, shit, all right. I come sit down, bro, for my first episode. He said, "We rolling." I talked for, I think, 45 minutes straight by myself. First episode I ever dropped by myself.
It's a long time.
He paused and said, "Hey, hold on." He stopped it. He told his assistant, he's like, "Hey, go get him a water bottle." He turned around and looked at me and was like, "Bro, I've never seen nobody talk for 45 minutes straight by themselves." He was like, "You didn't take a break." I'm like, and right when he said that, I knew I had something. Yeah. I'm like, all right. I'm on to something here. And it just went from there, man. This podcast shit keeps me, you said it helped you, man. This thing has helped me tremendously.
Mm-hmm.
It helps me be very consistent. I was an individual who lacked discipline and consistency. This has, changed my life for the better, where it's like, no, I'm going, I'm gonna shoot my episodes, And
Yeah.
like you said, bro, I'm meeting individuals like you from, you know what I mean? It's just, it makes the world smaller. You know what I mean? It makes the world smaller.
Kansas City's already small enough.
You know what I mean? And then like when we put this out, man, my subscribers and a few of my fans gonna go over there and vice versa. It's just, it's needed. So that's how I stumbled onto the podcast game. It was literally out of nowhere.
Why'd you name it I-70?
Cause I actually came up with the name. Cause I'm from St. Louis, obviously, living in KC. I was like, how can I bridge the gap? Because I'm St. Louis to the bone, but I mean, I live in KC and I love KC. So it's like, how can I bridge the gap? And it's like, I-70. Like they both sit on I-70 highway. And the moment I said it, it hit. And I was just like, oh no, I like that. Cause number one, it gives you a demographic. Well, not a demographic. I'm sorry, a geography of where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I say I-70, even though it runs from.
Yeah, I was about to say it's pretty long.
You know what I mean? But when you say I-70, you know what you're thinking of. You ain't thinking of no shit out in Baltimore and all that shit.
For sure.
They got I-70 out there. But yeah, man, that's how I came with the name.
That's cool.
Yeah, I just was like, how am I bridge the gap? How am I show love to KC and St. Louis?
What made you move to Kansas City?
So I was up in Manhattan, Kansas, up at K-State. I ended up in Manhattan because I had dropped out of school initially. I was going to Missouri Valley in Marshall, Missouri. Mm-hmm. Dropped out. My big brother was playing ball up at K-State, and he was like, bro, just come up here. And I'm like, it was either go up there with him or go home. You know what I mean? And like I was telling you earlier, bro, I got so many friends, man. It was at that time of life, man. When you got to choose, man, when you 21, 22, and it's like, what we doing? We getting in trouble? We steering, on the right path? So I got up to Manhattan with my brother. Long story short, I left there, dropped out of school again. And I just didn't want to go home, man. Like, my best friend, he was in prison at the time. He went to prison. So, it just was like, back home wasn't an option for me. You know what I mean? Like, I was, I didn't want to die back home. Like, I'm like, I don't want to go to jail and I don't want to die back home. So I had my brother pickup truck, man. And the true story is, I drove up here November 20th, the day after my birthday. And my brother pickup truck with my bed. It was raining. My fucking mattress got rained on. I pulled up to my apartment downtown in KC. And I didn't have a money order to get it. So I had to hurry up and run and go get a money order before the leasing office closed. Moved all my shit in by myself. Went to work at Amazon the next day.
Really?
And that's how I got to KC. No, big elaborate story. I didn't want to go home, and KC was the closest.
What year was that?
Ooh, this was 2019. Okay. I'll say about 2019. I've been up here about 5 years. So yeah.
How do you like it?
Oh, I love KC. You know what I mean? It's like, and I don't know if I love it because it's not home, but I mean, I just like it. I like where the city is going. The city is growing rapidly. You know what I mean? It's a perfect time to be, in KC, if you ask me. You know what I mean? You got the Chiefs doing what they do every year. And then if you want to go into the business side, the infrastructure, all the real estate that's going on, it's just, so, I picked the right spot.
That's good. Yeah, I've always wondered how it is to leave home. I know you didn't leave very far,
right?
What are you, 3.5 hours away, I think?
Yeah, 3.5, 345, 345, yeah.
And I've always wanted to do that. I've always kind of been like, not jealous, but always like idolize people that move away from home. Because, man, that's scary, man.
It was terrifying.
It's weird. I'm sure it's uncomfortable for a while.
I didn't have no family up here, and I don't have no family up here now. My brother, he here, but at the time, he in and out, doing what he do, as far as basketball and fucking real estate. So it was rough, but like, man, I did what every real man should do. I just went to work.
Yeah.
It was prime season at Amazon, so I was working 6 days a week, sun up, sun down. So on my only off day, bro, was Sundays. And what the hell am I doing on Sunday? So for a year, I didn't do nothing in KC. I didn't go out because I didn't know nobody. But I mean, it was more peaceful than anything, bro, if I'm be honest with you. You
kind of a reset.
Yeah. You don't know nobody at the grocery store. You just somebody who, you know what I mean? You won't see your old girlfriend, old classmates. It's a peace thing, bro. It's like, I'm just here just to work. And then I got to socialize, and after a year or so, then I would start being a little more social. But
yeah, that's always why I always wanted to leave. I feel like everybody just knows each other here. Everybody went to school and knows this person and that person. And it's probably worse now. You think about it, social media was barely coming up.
Right.
I didn't have a Facebook till I was sophomore, I think.
Yeah.
MySpace. It was MySpace.
I was just going to say, you got this stage. Yes, sir.
MySpace. Yeah, and so I mean, we weren't as connected back then. It was barely starting. My fucking phone was a flip phone. It was a Virgin Mobile phone.
Yeah.
You know, we paid by minute. You know,
Yeah.
that shit was ridiculous back then, man.
Yeah.
And I think by that time though I had switched. I think maybe that was middle school when I had that, but I can't know that was high school.
That was high school.
I didn't even have a phone in middle school. Yeah, that was high school. But then it started to be like the little phones. You remember the little phones were a big deal? The Nokia. I had the green one.
Yeah.
Remember T9 when you had the fucking dude.
They don't know nothing.
Nobody wanted to text back then.
Because you had to tap that motherfucker 4 times.
Yeah, that shit was annoying, bro. 1, 2, 3, get to a G and shit. Like, come on, bro.
Damn.
Bro, and then you'd be like, call me back after 8 or whatever you said. Call me back after 9,
baby.
Yeah.
Hey, you fucking up my minutes. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yep, man, that was crazy.
It was the good old days, man. Them kids, these kids.
I remember when I seen the first like phone with the all screen on it. I was at a high school by then. I think I was or no, maybe I was in high school. I think I was like a senior, and I seen one, and I was just like, what the fuck? Like that's crazy because. The smaller phones had the internet, but it was that shitty internet.
It was that bullshit.
It was that Internet Explorer. You know what I mean? Bullshit. You had to look up the actual website. There weren't no apps. So yeah, that shit was wild. And nobody had money for an Apple iPhone. I didn't get an iPhone until the iPhone 5. So
it's crazy hearing you say all this, bro. How much times have changed, bro.
I know, bro.
You know, we still had the Razors when we was. You know, that's my favorite phone. The Razor flip phone.
The Razor.
It was like
when that came out.
Flat.
Yeah.
My older sister,
the
she had
Sidekick.
One. Now that's the one. My uncle had one when he would flip that motherfucker. I'm like,
had the
Uncle
keyboard
cool
on it. You're like, fuck T9, bro. We fucking now you can text me.
Now I can text, baby. Yes, sir.
Yeah, or the Blackberries. Remember the Blackberries?
I think that was probably the most popular phone at the time. You know what I mean? That Blackberry was everything.
Because of that stupid ball on it.
Yeah, everybody, all the business people.
They
put the little pin out. Yeah, everybody like this back in the day.
Everyone had a BlackBerry and a Bluetooth.
And a Bluetooth, baby.
You remember the ones that used to light up? They would have it in all the time. I used to have one. I ain't gonna lie.
Did you? I ain't never had one.
Yeah, I had like a little small one. That shit was so dorky, bro.
Yeah, looking at it now, but at the time, you was the man.
Yeah, he was like, hold on, what?
Man, hold on, wait a minute. It was always the older dudes would kill me with the devices, man, because they was always extra with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they flipped their sidekick up way too aggressive. Just, you know what I mean? Flip phone, they close. You know what I mean? It was just the theatrics to everything was everything back then.
Yeah,
so
that's crazy.
It was a good time.
So that's cool, man. I'm glad you like it out here, man. Yeah,
man,
Kansas City is a good spot, man.
Yeah.
And you guys shoot out of the Cigar Lounge, right?
Yep. The Shop Cigar Lounge out there in Strawberry Hill.
I gotta check that place out. I'm a cigar guy. So,
it's beautiful, bro.
I usually go to Outlaws. So Outlaws in North Kansas City.
Because I came in, I seen the cigars, man. Yeah, you definitely should.
That one's actually an old one. It just sits there. But I'm a Arturo Fuentes guy. So if they got that down there, I'll go down there.
Okay.
Yeah.
They got a whole.
That's my
cigar. Check it out.
Yeah.
And then it's in the Strawberry Hill section, so that's a heavily populated, Latino area. So
I'm real familiar with that area. I used to be in a motorcycle club down there. And a lot of them were from Central.
Okay,
so,
got you. So
I was down there a lot.
Let me ask you a question, bro, because you spoke on it earlier, and I didn't want you to go past it. And I not ask you about it. You was talking about growing up being white and Mexican. Mm-hmm. How was that like growing up? I know you said you didn't feel acceptance from both sides. Just how was that throughout your childhood? Did it create a different type of person in you?
Yeah, I mean, I think I became more of a to myself.
Okay, gotcha.
You know what I mean? Like kept to myself, you know? I mean, but I don't know, man. When I was a kid, I was just a follower.
I feel
you know what I mean? Like
we all
I was trying to be a thug back then.
We all
was.
Oh, yes, sir.
Like, it's funny just because I went to school up north the majority of the time, but it's just back. You know how it was back then, man. I think it's different now. Like when I see my brothers, I still have a younger brother that's in high school.
Mm-hmm.
That they don't really have that shit, but when I was growing up, I mean, it was baggy clothes.
It was the thing to be, man.
Yeah, it was that. That's what I mean. Even kids up north were doing it.
Yeah,
shit. I remember I knew this one white boy named Connor. He was probably the most gangster dude I ever met. He lived up north his whole life. You know what I mean? Like it was just the times.
Yeah,
and like I said, I tried to identify so much with that side. And when I got older, I realized like. There's things I don't like about that side.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That they did, because I got bullied a lot, man.
I bet.
Especially for being white, you know, like they bullied the shit out of me for that. Which
You got treated like a light-skinned dude.
Pretty much, kind of how, like,
how we treat light-skinned dudes.
yeah, how you guys have what do they call it, colorism or something like that.
Like if you light-skinned, you immediately like.
And I don't think it's just a black thing. A lot of races have it.
Gotcha.
Right?
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sure Asian people deal with it because there's different shades of Asians. In the Hispanic community, you can be as white as Canelo Alvarez. He gets shit.
Yeah, that motherfucker is white as hell, ain't he?
Yeah, and you can be. They have black communities in Mexico.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because in that area, I mean, you've got Puerto Rico, the Caribbean. I mean, some of them were bound to come over.
Thanks.
And actually, James or Shagizi actually explained it to me. I can't remember what he said though. You have to check that podcast out. But there was something about why that happened. Why Africans at the time were taking to those places.
Well, they dropped them off there in the transatlantic slave trade. They dropped them off there first in the Caribbean. Before they went to America, they was in the Caribbean first.
And that's another thing that I've realized too as I've gotten older is that like there's always roots, but they're not always necessarily where you came from. Like, for instance, look at Canelo Alvarez. His roots have got to be somewhere in Ireland. You know what I mean?
He's the whitest Mexican I've ever seen. No disrespect to him. I love him. He's a great boxer.
Because we know that natives were down there.
Okay, got you.
You had, the Mayans and all that, stuff,
Aztecs,
all the way up through, from America all the way down.
Yeah.
And, but through history, you've had Irish people settle into Mexico. Mm-hmm. You've had Africans settle into Mexico. So you're going to start getting different shades as people start intermingling and, having babies with mixed races, which I think is a good thing, man. I think honestly.
It's inevitable.
Yeah. Like, and you can have preferences. There's no problem with preferences. I have preferences. I'm sure you have preferences. That's okay. But it's cool to be from a mixed background. I feel like a lot of the times because you can get different perspectives on both sides, but not saying you can't if you're not. You just have to be more open to it. And it's kind of hard when your vision is kind of narrowed. You know what I mean?
And did you get shit from family too? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it was more playful.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Get your little light ass out of here.
Yeah. I think it was more playful, but a majority of it was like school. Gotcha. You know what I mean? Especially like when I went to school in the inner city, they like to fuck with me a lot. You know what I mean?
So, I got fucked with for going to the white school. Like that was the joke. So like I was brother, here he come. He come from the white school. Mm-hmm. And that's why I was starting to whoop ass in the neighborhood because it's like, nah, you ain't gonna fuck with me.
There was a guy at my job, black guy, and he said that they give him shit, his own relatives and friends, because they say he speaks white.
Okay. Can I expound on that?
Yeah, go for it.
So like, and I want to say this to any young person, because the gentleman he's speaking about is a black man, so I want to speak about it for the black community. We do our children a disservice by saying that to them. Yeah. You talking white. No, brother, you're not talking white. He talking proper. He talking, you know what I mean? He talking with, you know what I mean? He's talking like an individual who one day gonna go get him a job. Mm-hmm. Who, you know what I'm saying, gonna accept you know what I mean? Gonna go into the bank and try to get a loan. You ain't gonna get no motherfucking loan talking the way you talk. And anybody who use any type of slang, it don't gotta just be the black community. Talking in good vernacular should be praised. And it's not, and in the community. So
and my idea on it is the whole proper term. I understand what you're saying, and you are right. But I do think that individuals that don't speak that way shouldn't be belittled for it. Gotcha. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But also, those people shouldn't be belittling people who want to speak that way. You know what I mean? It's all about preference, man. All about preference. Like whatever you feel comfortable in. You know, you don't have to be just because I'm black, I have to be this way, or just because I'm white, I have to be this way. Be who you want, man.
I like that.
Change up.
Be
a different person 5 years ago. Be a different person now. Be a different person 5 years from now.
Yeah.
You only got one life, man. You got one life. You're going to die. We're all going in a hole at some point.
At some point.
Me, I wish I could live 1,000 lives, man. I wish I could live in China and fucking Africa and, Mexico, South America, just to see how they live.
See how they live.
You know what I mean? Like, I think it's beautiful, man. And culture's a beautiful thing, but it can also be not so good all the time. You know what I mean?
Because some individuals of your culture try to make you, sacrifice who you are for the culture. Yeah. And I'm totally against that.
Yeah, nah, man.
Fuck all that.
There's all. It's good to support it, but there's to a point, man. Like I can't go over here because it's gonna make me less than. Come on, man. That's stupid.
That's control.
Yeah,
and it's too much of that shit going on.
Oh yeah, there is, man. But that's the cool thing, on your podcast, you have different people on from different backgrounds and stuff like that. So that's the nice part about what you're doing.
And that's what I wanted to do.
And you probably get that from being in different environments.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like you've seen, like, oh man, like I've seen how this way of life and this way of life, and it's opened up your eyes because, like you said, you've seen similarities, you've seen differences, and that kind of like how you are now. It shows in your podcast because you're willing to not just be a all black podcast.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You are interviewing white guys, Hispanic guys, like all sorts of different people.
Women.
Yeah, women. That's awesome, man. Yeah, and you could be like black males only. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And why?
But
you can learn so much from so many different people, different genders, different races. And it all brings us together, man.
We can at the end of the day, man. We can enjoy one another, man. All the division that goes on, and you've been saying it the entire time we've been talking, even before the camera start rolling, man. It's unnecessary. You know what I mean? It's not necessary. Because we get one life to live, man. I'm not finna spend my life hating a whole race of people for some propaganda somebody gave me. Man, fuck all that, bro. How you treating me? Mm-hmm. You a good person? I mean, I'm a good person too, man. Let's go from there. I'm not finna.
And even I can guarantee this, that everybody at some point has had some like naive thoughts.
For sure.
They thought these certain people were this way. This certain people over here are that way. And that's how, like, especially when you're younger, I think you're more influenced.
Oh, without a doubt.
I mean?
That's when it starts.
Like, so you're like, oh, I'm stereotyping these individuals because this is what I've seen, or this is what my parents told me, or my grandparents, or whatever it is, or your friends. That plays a big factor. But when you get older, man, like, and you let that shit go and grow from that, you realize that not everyone is like that.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Because it's impossible for everybody to be like that.
Yeah, dude. We've said it before with white people. Not every white person is a racist. Right. Not every black dude's a criminal.
Yes, sir.
Not every Mexican is from Mexico and illegal immigrant. You know what I mean? Like, these are stereotypes that are just stupid.
Yeah, stupid.
You know?
Yep.
And, but we can't be ridiculed if we do point somebody out who is that, who are from those, that community. You know what I mean? Like, we got to call a spade a spade, you know?
And that's what it is. Call a spade, man. I love that line.
Yeah, you got to, man. And that's the weird part, dude. It's just, it's very weird how to navigate this world. Once you stop giving a fuck, you're good. You really are, man.
It took me 28 years to stop giving a fuck. You know what I mean? Where I just like, you know what? I'm going to just be a good person. Fuck all that. Like, I'm not even... That's why
just be you.
Yeah, man. I don't even concern myself with a lot of things, bro, because it's just like, it's negative energy that I don't need, bro, and it's probably some shit that I don't agree with. Like, yeah, it's weird trying to navigate this world, but man, the only thing you can do is be yourself, man. Be a good person. That's what I say.
I wanted to talk to you about what are your thoughts on like the attention span being in the podcasting game? You see how short it is with everybody. I mean, you ever try to talk to anybody outside in the real world, and you got about 2 minutes before they start wandering. You know what I mean?
I was talking to one of my homeboys, you know what I mean? He was like, yeah, man. He's like, yeah, I watch the podcast, but like when he was explaining it to me, he let it be known. Yeah, bro, I don't watch it all the way through.
I hear that a lot.
He was like, bro, I'll watch like 15, 20 minutes, go do what I'm doing, and I come back and watch it again.
Yeah, they're always like, it's long.
It's like, but you gotta...
Don't listen to it all in one session, stupid. Break it up in 30 minutes. You gonna read a whole book in one session?
That's real. No, that's good. That's real.
Like, fuck, break it up, man. Listen to 15 minutes every now and then. You know what I mean? Throw it on while you're working on the car. Throw it on while you're at work. Throw it on while you're taking a shit.
That's what we do.
You know, like,
we listen at work.
I always got something playing. Bro, even here, like, I was washing the dishes in the morning. You know, I was watching your new episode that just came out.
Appreciate
Very
that.
good. Go watch it. Very good.
My man.
And it was an hour that was filled. I got to learn some things about the guy that you interviewed. Got to hear you bringing up some good points, and you grow from that.
Yes,
you know what I mean? You take in these things, and not every time you grow. But sometimes it's just good good stuff to listen to, or just background. You know, like you hear people talking, you may catch something like, oh shit, like not everything's gonna be spot on. You know what I mean? But I don't know, man. I think we've said like it'll catch on at some point, but the long format is difficult to try to get people to listen. I mean, my analytics are just showing that maybe 10 minutes.
Yeah,
we were talking
7.
about that earlier. Yeah.
7
And mine might be 17. It depends on the video.
Yeah, right. That's right.
But yeah, man, it's very difficult to try to explain that to people. But I mean, I'm not here to change anyone's mind.
No.
If you don't want to listen to the whole thing, it's your loss.
No, that's there it is. Because at the end of the day, you do what I do. This is genuine conversation, man. And it's no way one thing conversations are good for. There's no way you couldn't pick up something.
Yeah.
Your podcast, which I love, be 2-3 hours, bro. There's no way there's not one gem in there. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what we saying, like, with the attention span.
And that may be all you need.
And that may be the only thing you took from that episode was that one gem. But
There's
you can't
nothing
find
wrong
it if
with
you
that.
ain't. There you go.
There's nothing wrong with that at all. I think more people just need to humble themselves a little more, and not to be like, you need to listen to my podcast to be humble. That's not what I mean. Just don't think you know everything.
That's right.
Don't think that we're repeating the same shit as everybody else. Is some of it relatable? Yeah, it is relatable. A lot of conversations can be relatable at some point.
Water cooler conversation. We're gonna talk about some of the same topics.
Yeah, exactly. Sometime. But at the same time, it's fun, man.
Yes, sir.
It's fun, and with how small ours are right now, it's like almost like an intimate podcast, like kind of like if you ever go to a comedy show, it's an intimate feeling to go to the Improv compared to the Sprint Center.
Yeah,
to watch
not facts.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And that's kind of how ours, because the Improv probably seats 200 people. The Sprint Center seats thousands.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? So, and it's cool, and you can get to, like we said earlier, know the host. Send them questions. I'm sure you guys like that stuff. You guys want more of it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Ideas.
Guess potentially.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yes. Don't think you're too high or too or you're not enough.
Yeah.
You know, just what we want is a community.
Yes, sir.
You know, we're doing this to reach out to the viewers. You know, that's why we like it.
Yep.
You know, that's a part of it. You know, and I think over time that people will come around. But
I do too, man. Like, I mean, because now we combat that with our shorts. So at the end of the day, us as podcasters, we've had to adjust.
That's where we go back on the attention span, though.
Right.
So what do you think is causing that? Just social media in general, just being. I mean, why is our attention span becoming so short?
You said it best, and I could be wrong. John's no expert. Just the instant gratification. You know what I mean? I don't want to watch the whole episode. What a shit at where you talking about blase blah. That's kind of, you know what I mean? What a hot shit. What a negative shit. Like, I ain't going to watch the whole episode, get the totality of the conversation, because at the end of the day, people will, get in the comments about a 30-second clip, and it didn't even give you context.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you going on and on. He's a horrible person. You could have watched the first hour and 30. You could have got
listen
what he
to the
did.
last half hour where he actually. It's like some of our conversations that I could clip out.
Yeah.
And it would raise your eyebrows.
Yep.
You're like, oh, there's some woman hating blues right there. Well, you didn't hear how we were fucking talking about the guys too that are fucking idiots.
How we said get our shit together, get your fitness together, get your money together.
It's a 50-50 deal.
For sure.
And I do like the shorts. I do like that. I actually need to do more of them. I do like little reels on Instagram, but I use those more of to get to see what they're talking about, and then I go watch the actual podcast. It's more of like what do you call it? A trailer.
Trailer.
Yeah, it's just like a trailer.
That's what I do too. I go, soon as I see a clip I'm with you. Being that I have a podcast, I always go hit their YouTube, at least give them a like or something, because I mean that's the world we in. You know what I mean? I never go on nobody's page or anything YouTube without giving them a like, subscribe, because that's what we doing. And
I've had to change that a lot because I get bad at that.
Do
know
you?
What I mean?
Okay.
Oh yeah, I was always bad at that. I'm a lot better now. I'm more conscious of it now. And I've actually tried to talk to other people about that. If you watch something and you got something out of it, man, just hit that like button, man, because it helps them.
It helps, man. Anytime, I don't care what I'm doing, bro. Like, no matter what I'm watching, if it's a like button, I hit it, because I know as a person with a podcast, I know that you need it. Like, I need it. So I make, hey, man, a little like.
Yeah, if you watch the whole episode, you're a piece of shit. We'll
yeah.
put it that way. If you watch it and don't hit the like button, you're a piece of shit.
You're a piece of shit. And it's like, and I'll put it to you, it's like, a part of it is not knowing. You know, so like you said, you getting bad at it. But it's like just knowing, okay, that's the support. Yeah. The view is cool, but that like, that subscribe, that share, that's support, because the view is cool. That like is that takes your stuff to the algorithm and all that. I hope I said that word right, but it take your stuff there. So I always make sure to like.
Well, and he just, you took a time out of your day, because it's not just like you were there for an hour. You were probably there for 2 hours or more. Getting ready, getting all of it set up, all that stuff, that your team has to do.
Yep.
And for that hour podcast, and you're doing it not because you're like, oh, I need the likes. It's not that, but it's nice, man. It's nice to do. Yeah. It's like, hey, man, good shit. Good thumbs up. Yes, that's a fucking thumbs up. That's what it is.
That's what it is.
Good job, man. Good job, bro. Like, I like that. Or even if you don't like it, that's fine.
I'm still gonna like it.
But you might like the other episode. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, maybe you didn't like that one necessarily. Okay. But out of how many episodes do you have? You tell me you can't
41?
find. Yeah, you can't. You're gonna tell me you can't find more episodes that you like? Come on now, they ain't all gonna be bangers.
Yeah, there you go. But and you can't please everybody, man. I'm sure there's some people out there that hate my podcast. I do not care, because it's like.
But you'll attract people that like you for you.
Boom, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not the guy. I know my podcast. We would be further, brother, if we got, like we were talking about earlier, got some young, beautiful OnlyFans girls in here, and we went back and forth with them. Oh, our views would be through the roof. It's not what
Have you seen girls' podcasts? How much views they get?
It's crazy, bro.
I seen one, and it was here locally, and I'm not going to say which one it is. Yeah, it's not like, and they're just starting out. I don't even know if they're still a thing. Yeah, but and I'm not knocking them. Just giving you my opinion. Yeah, but I didn't think much of it. Okay, can they grow to something better? They probably could.
Off camera, I'm going to have to ask you who you talking about. We won't do it on camera.
It's no one associated with us. You probably wouldn't even know. I found it. I don't even know where they're from.
Okay, gotcha.
They're doing it with a fucking potato for a camera. And,
in KC?
Yeah, in KC. I found them somewhere. I don't even know who it was.
Gotcha.
But just the shot angles, the quality and audio. I mean, I know they're doing it on their own, and I'm not knocking. They can get better. Look at Joe Rogan's first podcast. It was not very good.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is they have thousands of views on that one. And I listened to the whole fucking thing. I mean, I guess some of it was, relatable to some people. Wasn't to me, but damn, 1,000 fucking views just for being girls, man.
And that's the world
we
live in.
I see why podcasters are having a girl co-host on, bro.
And that's why having podcasts, when it's certain things we see it, we go, I know why you did that.
I see that.
I see why you
did that.
But
my thing is I don't want to do it. If it ever were to happen, I want it to be genuine, not because I'm trying to seek something out of it. Because that's not cool to that girl.
No.
You're just on here for for the image?
No.
And the likes?
If you're going to sit down with me, you got your own host. If I get a co-host, it has to be, number one, organic. And it has to work, because I'm doing fine by myself. You know what I mean? I'm not going to, like you, to your point, I'm not going to have you come and be no character, no gimmick for me. You know what I mean? If you come in, you got to be able to hold it down. Like, if I don't say nothing for the whole episode, you got it. You can't just be here and be pretty. You know what I mean? No, we ain't doing that, baby.
And some of them do, man. I see some of them podcasts. That's why they have them in there.
Yeah.
Hey, if it works for them, it works for them, I guess. You know
what I'm saying? I don't want it that way. We spoke about it earlier, brother. I don't want to. I'm glad I didn't start that way, because I would have had to continue that way. And I enjoy the fact that my podcast, your podcast, and others, we giving ourselves to the world. This is just me, who I am, and I'm just having a conversation. I'm not here giving you no fluff. I'm not saying things because I think you gonna click on it, because you probably ain't. You know what I mean? I'm just being me. I'm giving myself to the world. So I want to, and it makes this enjoyable.
What's your goals for your podcast in the future?
Ooh, so like, honestly, it's just to grow. But if I'm gonna say a goal, it's like, I'm a huge Joe Rogan podcast fan. Him, the Joe Budden podcast, Joe Rogan podcast, Joe Budden.
Oh, you're a Joe Budden fan?
Oh yeah. So like, I call them two the godfathers of the podcast.
Guy. I haven't listened to him in a while, but he's had some shit where I'm like,
yeah, you know what I mean? I always put them two though as the godfathers of this thing, because Joe is the big dog, obviously. But Joe Budden was kind of he came in the game at the same time as Joe Rogan, where it's just audio. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then he started the whole Patreon wave of everybody.
When did he start?
Joe Budden?
Yeah, he started around 2000, because Joe Rogan started in 2009.
Man, Joe Rogan started, I'm sorry. Joe Budden started a long time ago. Yes, sir. I couldn't tell you the exact day, but he started a long time ago. It wasn't no new thing. And, because, he started with the Joe Budden podcast before it became what you see now. It was just him just doing audio. But, and all in all, I'm glad what we do is genuine. And we're not doing no gimmicks because, like you said before, man, you have to keep it up, man. I just think that that's stressful.
Yeah, like we were talking about with the influencers and stuff like that. It's a hard game.
It's a hard
you
game,
know what
man.
I mean? Like you kind of got to keep that character up.
Have to.
You know what I mean? Because I know some people are like, nah, that's the real me.
No, hell no.
Is it?
Cap.
That's you all the time?
Cap. Thank you.
Like,
Cap.
come on, man.
That ain't
you
true.
know what I mean? And but I mean, if that's what works for them, that's what works for them. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be a slow growth, but I see it definitely happening. So.
And my fault, bro. I didn't even answer. See how I jump all over the place, y'all? I didn't even answer your question. My goals for the podcast, I really just wanted to be like a one-stop shop. When anybody come through KC, they stop at the I-70 podcast, you know what I mean? Or just anything, you know? So that's my goal, is to where it's like, if you coming through KC, you want to stop. Your manager going to say, hey, man, you need to stop at the I-70 podcast. So that's my goal. Yeah,
and that's good, too. Like, and I also like that you're interviewing just regular people.
Yes, sir.
Because that's looked past. And
Yes,
that's kind of why I do mine. I don't care for the blue check marks and stuff like that. They can come on.
Yeah.
But my thing is the forgotten, which is us. You know what I mean? Normal dudes. You know how many guys I meet that are just normal dudes that have good stories, man?
And this is what normal dudes do. Like, this is this podcast space is so normal for me because this is what we do. We sit around, we talk shit. We don't agree all the time. We bounce it, we argue. You know what I'm saying? As long as ain't no fisticuffs, bro, this is what men do. We talk over water coolers. That's what we've been doing since the beginning of time.
Oh, yeah, dude. So, and I think it's a beautiful thing, man. It's more relatable, like we've talked about. We've said it many times. But, yeah, man, I mean, that's good. I really like how you guys have that, you know, where you're shooting it at. Yep. It's very nice, man. I mean, you guys do good work on that, you know, especially the angles you guys do, audio quality, everything, man. Now, I like that setting now, too, in the cigar shop.
Oh, dude, man. You see it, bro?
They got it. I know we were talking about it earlier.
Yeah.
I like that place a lot, man. Yep. It's got like that kind of that rustic old vibe to it.
It definitely, when you see the podcast, it makes people go, Like,
above all. Very warm.
There you go.
Very warm feeling.
You got good decor around me, you know what I mean? So, yeah, man, it's beautiful, man. Matter of fact, let me ask you, let me bounce it off you. What's your goal for the podcast? The Bring About podcast?
I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, like I talked about earlier, I kind of did it a lot to show the average people out here, quote unquote average, but normal, everyday guys, girls, the stories they bring, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think they're very relatable to a majority. And like I know we gravitate, like I said, towards the celebrities and stuff like that. But there's so many great people out here, man, that if you put a mic in front of them, and I mean, it's just a good, interesting story, man, to hear. Yeah. But I mean, long term, you know, yeah, I'd love it to grow, you know, to reach new people. I'm not naive to think that this is going to make me any money at some point.
You see, I didn't even mention money.
Yeah, like I like, so my goal is not necessarily to get rich off this, because the reality of this actually being successful, very slim.
Yeah.
Very slim.
And we talk about making millions on some Joe Rogan shit. Nah.
I wish.
I'll take it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
But probably not.
Probably not.
But with the beauty of the value of it is, like I said, it's overlooked because it's thrown in our face all the time. Money, status. But look at the relationships.
Yep.
And if we can focus more on that, like I said, creating that event where we do a Saturday event, throw something like I go to the Friday kickbacks down there under the bridge. If we did something like that on a summer night and had a couple hundred people down there, and we're not necessarily podcasting, or some of us can, you know what I mean?
So like a panel type thing going on?
Not like a panel, but maybe have like a desk with mics, and there's different podcasters around. They hop on every, but you're just sitting back, having a beer, talking to the people, even off mic. Because not everything's got to be on mic.
Like
you know what I mean?
I like that.
Sitting around, maybe there's vendors and stuff like that want to show up. It'd be great for networking, but also making friends, man. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because, you know, some of us can feel a little alone in this game because we don't have anybody else, you know? And as you know, that I know, it's kind of difficult to kind of get to these other podcasts because either they don't look at you as anything, or they think that you need to be at some certain status or some shit to be on their level. I mean, or they just don't check.
I
They're not even involved. I remember I shot a DM not too long ago to a guy that's here, and he has a podcast. Don't even look at my shit. I mean, that just tells me you ain't even doing any work. And I may miss a message, but I'll fucking see it at some point.
Yeah, I'll see it at some point.
And if I don't, shoot it in the comments if I missed yours. I'll go look at it, But yeah, man, it's just,
odd.
It's weird.
It's we said at the same time.
It's weird.
It's weird,
man.
but and take it from me, bro. I go through the same thing you go through. I've had plenty. I mean, I laugh about it on those.
Not anymore though. I seen you had the 103.3 people on.
See, that ain't a podcast though. That's radio.
Yeah, I know, but that's still how long has that dude been on fucking radio for? I remember him for a long time, dude.
Yeah, I get him.
And they came on yours.
Yeah,
that's pretty.
That was the second time. Well, I had the female Deanna Hustle. She from St. Louis, so that was that connection.
Nice.
You know what I mean? It was kind of like she was on already, and it was like, oh well, let me get both of y'all on. So, but to your point, there are plenty of podcasts in the city that don't hit me, either don't hit me back, or they don't hit me back. Nobody ever says nothing to me. You know what I mean? If I'm gonna be honest, To Bring About Podcast was the first podcast in KC since I've been doing it where you were serious. Hey, bro, come on, let me have you on. I haven't been on nobody else's podcast outside of No Solutions.
Your group, yeah.
Outside of the company. Nobody is, hey, bro, come on. Because for me, I love competition, don't get me wrong. Mm-hmm. But I like the competition. I take it back to sports. I like to compete, but I want to do this. You know what I'm saying? I want to sit down with you. I don't want to talk shit about you from over here. And when I say compete, I mean sit down and let's have a talk. Because you can't really compete with podcasting. If you will. You know what I'm saying? None of us are Shannon Sharp or Joe Rogan, and none of us are going to get to that point in no time soon. So,
sure.
So that, but yeah, man, it's weird. I mean, I guess that's the best way to put it. It's weird.
Yeah, I think over time it'll start to open up. Like we talked, especially with the bridge that we're creating and creating that community, right now. I'd love to talk to Esai and his people over there.
Sure, bro.
Whenever they want to come on, they're always welcomed. I told Jake that. Mm-hmm. You guys got a great thing going on, and we're adding more, of these more of these groups to this community. Mm-hmm. No Solutions to Bring About. There'll be more, that come with that. And at some point we'll reach that level, you know what I mean, where we share the love, but we can't forget that.
Oh no,
you know what I mean.
Forgetting. Ain't no forgetting.
You get to a certain level, you can't forget. Some people forget,
I ain't gonna forget.
And that's the problem. Speaking on podcasting though, mm-hmm. like we said, we know that we're not naive to think this is going to take off and be something that we're always going to have, or it's going to create. It's going to be our career,
right?
What are your plan Bs for just in case? You always got to have a plan B,
right?
My
thinking is this because like you just to the point you just made, I don't see it, getting me millions. You know what I'm saying? If it does, it does.
You said you like real estate.
Yeah, mm-hmm. I use this podcast thing for me is this. It's opening doors that that wasn't open before.
Yeah.
I'm meeting all these good people, networking.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? This podcast thing industry is growing. It's gonna get bigger. So I'll say I'm using this just to open doors. You know what I mean? Real estate is my passion. You know what I mean? That's my plan A is to, do real estate and, gain financial, stability through that.
Yeah.
But, with the podcasting, I mean, who knows, man? It's such a up and coming business or industry that who knows what may happen. You know what I mean? We sit here and neither one of us mentioned money, but who knows? These big networks may come down and say, hey, look, we trying to buy up all the podcasts. We want y'all under us. And now we talk about something, no different than ESPN with they different, you got First Take, but then you got another show. You know what I mean? Yeah. Who knows? These big hedge funds may come down one day and be like, look, we want y'all under us. You know, so
just be very careful.
Yeah. No, that's real.
Because these big networks aren't going to be like No Solutions.
Oh, hell no. They're my folks.
Where they give you creative ability. Those big networks sometimes will put a leash on you.
Oh, they will.
Yeah.
And so my plan to shorten it is to stay consistent with this, see what doors open up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And shit, go from there, man. Because I love the process, like you was talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I love the process, bro. Like, and I'm in love with the process. I don't think about the views. I want an individual who, let's just say somebody who like podcasts. I want somebody to watch mine and go, okay, I like how he do that. I mean, I like how you can tell he taking his time, production good. So I say that's my plan. It's just to see what these doors open up for me.
Do you guys have anything coming up that you want to talk about?
Ooh, what we got coming up?
You guys got any events or anything? I know you guys have done that in the past.
None that I could just say, yeah. You know what I mean?
Still the dead of winter. So,
yeah. Now, you know that. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody coming outside
winter
right
sucks here right now.
Hey, if y'all don't know,
months.
we in the Midwest, baby. You know what I'm saying? The wintertime, we go in the house. You know what I mean? But, yeah, man, nothing necessarily, that I can think of coming up. Your boy definitely, I want to start, you alluded to it, I kind of want to try out the comedy game. You know what I mean? I just kind of want to see. I'm just in that mode, bro. Like, I'm finna turn 30 this year, and we talked about that as a man, bro. When you hit 30, it's like you want your shit together, you know what I mean? Or, going towards getting your shit together. So I just want to exalt all options, bro. Like, I just want to see what's what, because, you know what I mean? We only get one life to live, man.
I think you should go for it, man. Like, don't let people knock on your dreams.
Yes,
man.
sir.
Even if it doesn't work out, at least I tried.
And that's where I'm at now, bro. I just want to try everything.
That's all that matters.
I don't want to get old and be like, man, I should have did that. Nope.
Yeah. People think it's weird that I go to a gym and wrestle around with grown men. You know what I mean? But hey, it's what I like.
That's what I like to do.
You know what I mean? Like,
wait.
if it makes me happy, then don't care. Maybe go try it. Maybe you'll like it.
Everybody business nowadays, man. Like, do what you do. I'm gonna do what I do.
Yeah.
You don't need to get online and if you don't do this, you're sorry. No, brother. It's working for you.
Yeah.
Because it might not work for me. You know what I mean? I may get online and say some outlandish shit and it go horrible for me. You know what I mean? Now I burn bridges. Don't nobody want to talk to me and all this. So yeah, man.
Are you thinking about doing like maybe an open mic or something?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna take the steps. Like, I'm not gonna. Even with podcasting, like, everything I do my research. I do my due diligence, because that's me humbling myself. I've always been good at talking, bro. I never got into the podcast thinking, I don't need no help and can't nobody tell me nothing, bro. I learn every single episode. And like yourself, I watch podcasts daily. And I pick up stuff, like some of my favorite podcasts. I pick up, how he do his intro. Okay, I like what he do that. How he introduces guests. How he just everything. And you learn so much. How you do yours.
Yeah, makes your game better.
Boom. Your setup, how you do things. As soon as we walk down here, I'm like, okay, I've seen it, but it's different seeing it.
Yeah.
Beautiful, man. Like, this is a man cave, if you will. You know what I mean?
You ain't lying. It is. It's like a man cave. My little man cave, my little getaway down here.
Yeah, man. You down here doing something you enjoy to do, man. So, I mean.
Yeah. It's a little creepy coming in. So if any future guests, I'm not going to rob you when you come Can you come in here, all right?
You know what I'm saying? Listen, you're going to pull up in, you know what I mean, a nice, you know what I mean, space, you know what I mean? When you get this is professional looking. When you get down here and you see this, you know, okay, this ain't just turn the camera on.
Well, my biggest thing is vibe, man. Like, I always wanted it to be like you guys have, a warm vibe.
That
vibe.
You know?
That was always my thing. I never wanted the guests to come in here and think they were going to get a job interview done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Don't want that. I want you to be relaxed, have a drink. Whatever. It's a little early today, so I don't have any beer in the cooler.
My dog was offering drinks. I got snacks. I mean, he got snacks, waters. He did the whole nizzy.
Yeah, man. You got to, man. You're a guest in my house. So.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, man, that's awesome, dude. So you guys don't have anything coming up right now?
Not that I can think of, bro, as far as I-70 is concerned.
Well, make sure you keep up with I-70.
Yeah, please.
So you will know when you guys, because I know you guys do stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
we in the works of doing another boxing show, but it's cold. So it's like, you know what I mean? Because we did the one under the bridge, that event we did. Jake and the Heavy Breathing, I'm sure they're going to do a comedy show now that him and Brock on Heavy Breathing together. So, I mean, who knows, man? You know what I mean? Now, the real question is, will my dog finally get on a podcast? I mean, he invite everybody to his lovely, studio. Will he come on the podcast? Get in the comments, spam him, and let him know. Go get on the podcast.
I keep telling him I'm not interesting.
No, but that's BS, because there's no way you're a podcast host and you're not interested. You interested because even me and you've been talking. If I could, man, I'd get you on the podcast. We'll do exactly what we're doing now, bro. Yeah. Like, you got a story, I got a story. Ain't nobody gotta have no Cat Williams story of I was 13 and I 18-wheeler driver took me and my dog down to Florida, and you don't gotta have no crazy story like that. Yeah. Us being genuine human beings, having a conversation is all you need for a podcast to go, bro.
I will definitely take it into consideration.
Spam the comments, y'all. Yeah, I got you. But yeah, nothing coming up in the future. Just be on the lookout just for me. You know what I mean? As far as I got my hands in everything. I'm trying to do everything. I want to be on everybody's podcast. I want to get everybody on mine. Yeah. I'm gonna try this comedy joint out. And I just want to see what happens, man. I'm finna turn 30 this year at the end of the year. So it's like, why not go out my 20s with a bang? You know what I'm saying?
Well, hopefully, with you guys doing the boxing events, maybe we can do a boxing and jiu-jitsu. We could meet.
Man,
So
come on, man. You got to come on the podcast
that
first,
would
man.
be,
Look, I got
that'd
him,
be nice. Oh, you making negotiations over here. Oh,
Yes,
shit.
sir.
I'm about to sign a contract.
Yeah, man. Because at the end of the day, man, we need to see individuals like yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And show, being on this podcast with you, bro, one thing that I've took from all of this is, bro, you are a down-home, genuine man. You know what I mean? You are, you want to, you think about the little people, the working class, the blue collar, you know what I mean? You ain't with all that up top shit. Like, no, let's deal with the individuals making the country move and making the world go around. So
yeah, I'm not against the guys at the top. My thing is the bottom's overlooked.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm not talking about the bottom as in the people that aren't doing shit. I'm talking about the ones that keep this whole thing,
yes, sir.
you know, that are building these buildings, that are putting in these grueling hours that, you know, when you look at a building, you only know the owner of that building. You don't know the guys who laid the brick.
Yes, sir.
You know? It's sad, man. You know?
And that's what I'm saying, bro. So for you to say you're not interested, you know, that's untrue because you don't hear this, bro. You don't hear people thinking about, and how many blue collar workers who hear this type of rhetoric and be like, that's what I'm talking about, bro. So you are interested, man. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Because I can spot when a motherfucker not interested. It's like, okay, this motherfucker is not interested, bro. Like, but yeah, man, you should think about it. Consider it, like you said.
Oh yeah. I'll consider it for sure, man. I will. So I wanted to talk to you. We have something in common.
Okay.
Favorite movie?
What's your favorite movie?
Braveheart. One of them.
Right, one of them. One of my favorite movies.
I thought it was funny when I heard that on the podcast.
Did you hear it on the Big Podcast? Did you?
Yeah. I like their podcast. The guy that runs that's funny.
That's Big Mind. I stunned them on the podcast. They was like, ain't no black people in that movie. I'm like, well, excuse the fuck out of me.
Yeah, I do remember that. That shit was funny as hell.
I was like, wait.
That's definitely like an old man joke, bro.
He's like, ain't no black people in there. I'm like, ain't that a bitch? I'm like, wait a minute. But Braveheart, that's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, that was a good movie, man. People sleep on that movie.
Man,
I used to have the VHS, bro, when it was 2 VHSs.
We had the VHS.
Part 1 and Part 2.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Because that's my movie, man. I love just how the storyline is amazing. It's action in that joint. You know what I mean? It's love. It's being brave. That man got his head cut off at the end of the movie while yelling freedom. It's a wonderful movie.
We need some more of that shit in today's world.
Yes, sir, man. Like
a lot of these dudes that preach freedom, bro, they still are supporting the shit that's not giving us freedom. It's fucking weird, man. I see these people online, and I would love to meet them, love to talk to them, because I've never, you know, me and you talked. You've been talking to me this whole time. Even if we had conflicting views, I'm not going to bash you and hate you for that.
Right.
I'm going to try to talk to you and try to explain some things. Yeah. Maybe we can learn something from each other. But
and you will. There's no way. And that's what, to your point, brother, like, I just want to sit down with people. Like, I mean, I don't care what your viewpoint is, bro. I will talk to any and everybody, bro. As long as you're not disrespectful, bro, we can have a conversation about what you think I may be uncomfortable about. Let's talk about it.
With podcasting being stressful at times, just like life is, life can be stressful. What do you do to kind of help with that? I notice you work out a lot. I see that on your Instagram.
I mean,
have you always worked out, or is that something new you've been incorporating?
I've always worked out, but I never worked out for the right reasons. And I can explain, like, being a former athlete, high school, a little bit of 1 year of college.
What'd you do?
Football. Well, high school, I did football, basketball, and track all year round, all 4 years. But I went to college for football. But it's like, how can I put it, man? It's like, hey, wait a minute. I want to answer it the right way. Ask me the question again.
What?
Ask me the question you just asked me. I want to answer it correctly.
Like, what do you do to kind of get away?
So working out, but like the point I was getting ready to make was I worked out for the wrong reason. So that's my release, is to work out. And to do other things, like just doing what I like to do. You know, I like to, if I'm being honest with myself, I like to just get in my car and I just like to go somewhere, bro. Like just drive real quick, you know what I mean? But to take stress away from podcasting, definitely work out. I advise everybody to work out. It's not, and when I say I worked out for the wrong reasons, I used to just work out just to, you know, I work it out.
To look the part.
But as a grown man, I understand the mental, you know, the mental capacity, or the mental aspect of working out and what it does.
Like we talked about, enjoy the pursuit.
Enjoy the pursuit. Not the end. Yes, sir. So that's how I release, man. Like, I like to just work out, and I like to just do what I like to do. And it could be anything on that day. Like, if I'm, like today I'm off. you know, I like to sometimes just, you know, as a man, you know, just get fly real quick. You know what I mean? And I just go somewhere and just be seen real quick, because it's just the love I used to give to everybody else, bro. I give to myself now.
That's good.
And through that is how I decompress from podcasting and the stresses of life,
and work, and
that love I used to get to everybody else, I give to me now.
Yeah, people don't understand that. They sit with that and they're irritable because you're not letting that energy escape. You gotta do something. Lift something. Go lift something heavy for an hour.
Yep.
Let me know how you feel afterwards.
Yes, sir.
Or go run.
Yep.
Or don't make it overcomplicated.
Yep.
Find a simple, basic workout routine and stick to it. I see that a lot in people, men and women.
Yeah.
It's like they find something and they don't understand that it's going to be monotonous.
Yes, sir.
Like it's going to be boring.
Yep.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Unless you got enough money to pay a personal trainer to spice it up for you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Or if you are creative enough to create different workout schedules every 8 weeks, you know, if you can find them on the internet. Yeah. But really, mine is just a basic 4-day a week.
Yes, sir.
2 muscle groups a day. Legs is by itself. That's it.
Mine too.
Yeah.
Legs by itself.
Yeah, that's it. Like, that's all you need.
Yes, sir.
You can even get even better than that. You could do a total body 3 to 4 days a week, and that'd be great. Less sore.
Yes, sir.
You know, it's not as many days. You know, you can do 3 to 4. I mean, that's not
3 to 4 is good.
You can't give that like in a week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like an hour a day. Like, it would help you. I had some shit on my mind this morning, and I worked out in the morning, and just felt 100% better afterwards. Now, it's not like you work out and it's fixed.
Yeah,
you're still gonna deal with it, but it's a tool that helps you manage it.
Yeah, it helps you deal with it. I'll say. You know what I mean, bro? Like, just
but it doesn't fix.
It don't fix nothing.
It just helps you get away. It's like a release or a little vacation away. Yeah. And honestly, dude, this is what I tell people, because you said that they have the boxing gym, right? Dude, joining a hobby like that, one, you're never too old. There's a dude at our gym that does jiu-jitsu, and he's like 70 years old.
You been there whooping ass?
I mean, he don't whoop ass.
But he can get one of the young boys who come.
He gonna whoop another 75-year-old's ass. You know what I mean? Hey, he might whoop a fucking 40-year-old's ass that don't know shit. You know, people, they live in a very unrealistic mindset about what their capabilities are. Yeah. I mean, everybody thinks they can fight. Right. Until you go fight somebody who knows how to fight. Facts. You know what I mean? That's a fact. And there are probably some, you know, outliers out there that can hold it down. Yeah. Really big dude or athletic guy or, you know. But I have, if anybody's ever done jiu-jitsu, it is one of the best things I've ever done. And I know that, you know, people who hear about jiu-jitsu, it's like the CrossFitters. You know, they all give CrossFitters shit because it's all they talk about is CrossFit. But, man, I'm telling you, man, what you can learn from grappling, it tells you a lot about yourself. Right. You know what I mean? And what you can be if you put in the time on the mat. Same with boxing. Same with Muay Thai. Same with wrestling. All sorts of different, you know, combat sports. I believe, and I have been trying to push this on everybody, especially every man, should do some type of combat sport.
I like that.
You should at least be doing it twice a week.
Yes, sir.
You should be training. It's only an hour to an hour and a half. And even if you've got kids, I don't give a fuck if you got a job that has a lot of hours, you can find an hour and a half at a gym to learn this. One, especially if you have kids, you need to learn how to fucking protect your family. Because you think, back in the day, I used to win all these fights and blah, blah, blah.
That was a long time ago, brother.
Motherfuckers are doing MMA out here now, all right? And they're not even the ones you got to worry about, really.
Facts.
But you need to worry about what you're capable of. And a majority of guys, a very high percentage, man, I don't even want to give it a number. I don't know, but I know it's high, have about 30 seconds in them.
I'm going to say majority of men.
Yeah, have about 30 seconds. Yeah. You used to bounce, right? What did you ever see? They were swinging and falling on the floor.
It was always easy.
After 30 seconds, you know? But like, even if you're watching two individuals, how long they got? We got 45. World Star, you know what I mean? Like, we see how those fights go. And when it goes to the ground, it's scary.
That's when and that's the scariest place to be. Take it from
'Cause
individuals who grew up fighting.
What does every fight go to? It goes to the fucking ground, man.
Because growing up, I thank God growing up, when we would hit the ground, the older dudes, oh, no, stand him up. Because it's like, oh, I don't want to be on the ground grappling with this motherfucker.
And see, I hate that. I'm like, leave him on the ground. Because, fight's a fight, man. There's no fucking rules. I used to hate, I see that shit all the time. They did that when the Kimbo Slice days. I remember when he used
Kimbo Slice days.
Bro, and I remember one time one dude got him.
The light-skinned dude. Yeah. We all remember that. He dropped him. And then they was like, hold on. Then they let him back up.
It was the white dude.
Was it the white dude?
Yeah, the cop. Remember the cop that beat him up?
Oh, when they went upstairs. No, you're right.
Yeah, the cop that beat him up. It was like inside what was it, like a gym or some shit?
It was some makeshift shit. That big white cop. I remember that. He had the black shirt on. That big ass.
Yeah, but guys do that shit all the time, man. And I'm not saying the ground's the best case scenario, because in a street fight, I'm not going straight to the ground. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I'm not getting soccer kicked in the face by dude's homies. You know what I mean?
Because that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, while I'm on top of him. Yeah. But if I do end up on the ground, it's a good skill to have. But so I'm not saying necessarily do jiu-jitsu. I'm saying, but do something, man, because working out's great, but you should learn some type of martial art.
Yes, sir.
You know, and just like you, it's never too late.
It's never too late.
People with the boxing gym, do an hour or 2 hours, buy yourself a little bag, you know, do drills, You're not going to be the next Floyd Mayweather. You're not going to be the next Canelo Alvarez.
But man, you're going to feel good.
But you are going to be a lot better than the 70, or I would probably say 90% of people.
I'm going higher, bro.
Yeah.
95% of men who step out there in the street and put their hands up get crushed. 95%. You know what I mean?
I think I was watching and statistics can be definitely flawed.
Yeah.
But I was reading one that was like, it was in the millions. I don't remember how many millions only do jiu-jitsu.
I'm going to tell you.
I would guess boxing's probably more.
For sure.
Wrestling probably very little too.
Yeah.
But like these martial arts, Muay Thai is probably non-existent here in America.
I'm just gonna say, in America, yeah.
And Muay Thai is probably one of the craziest fucking sports I've watched. If anybody, go watch One Champion.
Yeah.
Their shit is awesome, dude. Watching those guys over in Thailand. Oh my God, dude. If you think the UFC is boring because it goes to the ground, then go watch Muay Thai. They don't go to the ground, and all of it's just strikes, elbows, kicks. I mean, it's
brutal,
insane.
Man. Like I said before, growing up, I thank God the UFC wasn't in, and
it wasn't a big thing.
It wasn't a big thing just yet, because man, I would have got my ass whooped if I'd have ran into motherfuckers who like to use their feet.
Yeah, I really wish I would have took wrestling when I was younger, man. But
I say the first guy that made me go jiu-jitsu. It's a Navy SEAL. He got his own podcast, Jocko. His name,
Jocko Willing. Yeah,
I get motivation from him. I love his podcast, bro. And
he has a podcast with Hicks and Gracie. Listen to that one.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he has like this whole, he reads a page of his book. I think the book's called Breathe. And I mean, dude, just the way he described his first role with Hicks and Gracie is incredible. And jiu-jitsu is very slept on, man.
Yeah.
And I don't know why there's not lines at the door.
That was my question. I was getting ready to ask you.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
I think it's the fact of the intimacy, like not intimate, like you're all on top of somebody. You know what I mean? Very close, sweating on people's faces and shit. So people don't like that. But man, it's not that I enjoy it. It doesn't bother me, but it's needed.
It's needed.
Yeah,
it's
necessary. It's definitely needed, man. Because what happens if you're put in that scenario? Not to mention those moments of being uncomfortable have flowed into my normal life.
Yeah.
And so when I'm in uncomfortable situations, whether it be an altercation with somebody, because if somebody comes up to me talking shit in my face, I've had plenty of men get in my face. I've done tournaments, I've done at the gym and rolls every night. So I know how it feels to be put into a stressful situation a lot of times out of the week.
Yeah, that's right.
But not even that factor, just even facing challenges. Maybe something's not going to plan that you planned it that day, or something you're trying to fix is not going to plan. We all know we've been there when our car gives us some troubles, and you thought it was going to be a 25-minute job and it turns into a 2-day job. You know what I mean? So, but you use I feel like martial arts, what teaches you is to kind of calm down in these situations. Let's think about it, and we'll figure out an answer.
Yeah.
You know, and you got to try it for yourself to understand it, because from the outside in, you won't get it unless you actually go do it.
Right.
Practice what you preach.
Yes, sir.
Like we said. So.
And jiu-jitsu, I always say this, bro. I've never done jiu-jitsu. I've always say those are probably the most dangerous individuals, because 9 times out of 10, the fight gonna go to the ground.
That, and they don't even look the part. If you go into a gym, you're like, what, a bunch of nerds in here? Yeah. Like, what the fuck? They all don't look like Gordon Ryan. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, they all don't look like, you know, that specific image. Like, I mean, you go in there, you'll see some little dudes, and you're just like, this dude ain't shit, and he will fucking break your leg off. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's always been slept on. A lot of guys think they'll punch you in the face and it'll stop the game. You know how difficult it is to knock somebody out? Very difficult. Very difficult. Unless you run up on them and sleep them. And even then, you got to be able to do that. Yeah. Why do they call it knockout artist? Yeah. That's everybody don't do it. Yeah, not everyone can do it.
It's professional boxers who not knockout artists. Like, and they punch all day, every day.
And they will knock you out.
They'll knock you out.
Yeah, but they won't, you know, it's very difficult, you know, and a lot of people don't even know where to hit. You got to hit in certain places, you know what I mean? You got to have that power. Yeah. If you ain't been lifting weights and you think you got some type of power, good luck. If you ain't never hit a heavy bag, I mean, come on now.
Then there's some big guys.
Heavy bag's 150 pounds. Go hit that.
I knew that's what I was looking at. I won. I'm like, bro, got a heavy bag. Bro.
Yeah, dude, it's a big bag, dude.
And there's even some big guys, big as hell. They can't throw a punch either.
I would say bigger dudes are probably at the most. They can get away with their size, like that they get a hold. If they get a hold of you or something, you know, or just being so heavy. Yeah. You know, it's more of a big hit. Mm-hmm. But one, how much of a gas tank do they have? They're big. Yeah. You know, but I've always said this too: if there was more bigger guys in jiu-jitsu, it would be crazy, dude, because that size means a lot. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Yeah, you could be a little guy and still fuck somebody up. It happens all the time. But, dude, if you're big, athletic, like say football players started joining jiu-jitsu gyms, oh, dude, it'd be fucking wild.
That's why when I seen Jocko, I had never seen somebody that size talk about jiu-jitsu before, because he's a big dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, he's probably about my size.
Is he?
Yeah.
The cameras make him look bigger than
Yeah, he's just yoked.
I take that back.
Yeah, because I'm like 215. He's probably around that size.
You right.
I don't know how tall he is.
He's just yoked. You right.
Yeah, he's just kind of yoked, dude. Mm-hmm. But yeah, but like these dudes that are like 6'4", 6'7", you know what I mean? Like 300 pounds.
That's different. Alignment.
And they cutting weight to get to that, you know? Like they can learn that, dude, but they're so big, they just think that, well, no one's going to fuck with me anyways because I'm so big. But you never know what situation you get in, man. It's
working security. Yeah, the big guys always. Oh, you ain't gonna do nothing to me? Yes, I will.
Yeah, bro.
Yes, I will.
You're naive to think that just because you're big, you're gonna be able to take on everybody. There's always somebody for somebody, you know.
There's always. And then one thing I know about bigger guys, man, they not used to. One thing I'll say is, bigger guys not used to being stood up to. You know what I mean? If you, as a man, if you just stood your ground, you would deter a lot of people from bothering you, because you know what I mean. Because a big guy like that, he's not used to somebody going, "No, fuck you." You know what I mean? Yeah, like I'm not intimidated by you. You may win, brother. And I got that attitude growing up, and then it kind of helped me doing security. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because I don't get intimidated, and I have a brother who's a year older than me who's 6'8", so it's like he's 6'8", 250, so I don't get intimidated by bigger guys. I never have. I've always been the baby brother of a behemoth. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. The point that you're making about men in combat sports, I think is. Every man should be able to defend themselves. I've always said that my entire life, some capacity.
I think it would cut out a lot of the bullshit right now. A lot of the bickering and fighting amongst one another, because if you were both actually trained, and just as a practitioner like I am, I'm just a practitioner. Yeah, I compete in local tournaments. They're fucking local tournaments. I mean, it's nothing. I'm not here at ADCC or these big, you know, the Olympics of jiu-jitsu. But I do it because for my family. I do it for myself, my mind. You know, like it's a nice getaway. You know, when you're working out, you can only get away in your head for so long, you know, where it becomes like kind of the same shit over and over again.
Yeah, for sure.
When you're getting choked out,
it's different.
Or you're sparring somebody in a boxing ring, you're not thinking about the shit you got going on. You know what I mean? Like you're trying not to
trying to kill me.
Yeah, you're trying not to fucking die.
Yeah.
All right. And luckily you're in a controlled setting to
Right.
where you can reenact death, but not to that point.
Yeah.
You can reenact almost dying, but we entrust in our partners to be able to tap or in boxing to, hey, stop, you know.
Wait,
like,
right flag.
Yeah. So, you know, I think that's the beautiful thing. I just think it's the way. I think everybody, there should be lines at all these gyms to do this, man.
And I even piggyback off you, bro. And I can say, you know, just for the young men of the, you know, of these, you know, communities that we come from, I think they need it the most, man. Because
for sure.
all the killing that's going on, these young boys of today, they don't. At least when we grew up, we like to fight. I ain't gonna say like to fight. We fought. You got out there, you did what you had to do as boys. That's just what boys did. You know what I mean? No matter where you come from. But these kids now, with, you know, they don't want to fight at all. And I think it's a lot of these kids are getting...
Or the problem is, too, that they're fighting in groups. That's always been a thing. Jumping people.
Yeah, I mean, that is true. No, that's true.
Yeah, that's always been a thing.
Yeah. Because, I mean, we did it growing up. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And I want to say, you know, it was... you see online individuals that be like, oh, that's pussy shit. Fair enough. But the truth is, it's the reality of those communities. To think you finna come into the hood and get a one-on-one fight, yeah, you'll get it, but it has to be sanctioned by somebody of status.
You get it until you're beating up their guy.
There you go. and that's the thing, because that's my rule.
Yeah.
My partner can fight you. The moment he start losing, it's over with. You know what I mean? Now, individuals say, oh, that's pussy shit. No, that's my dog, and I love him.
I think it depends on the scenario, or if he won't stop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if he's just beating the shit out of your boy on the ground, you know, that's a whole different story. But yeah, man, I mean, I think if more people did them, and especially women too.
Okay, yeah.
I'm surprised more women don't gravitate to them because, one, I know women do not like working out. You can tell by going into gyms. Yeah. There's always a handful of chicks in there?
Maybe 4 or 5 at a time.
Yeah, and half of those are just doing it for Instagram.
Yeah. You know, that's real.
They got their fucking stands up. Yeah.
Fixing them shorts. Go, girl, I saw you.
Yeah.
I saw it.
Half-ass naked.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm knocking it. If that's you, go for it, man. But I would think that they'd want to be in some type of combat sport, and maybe not even to compete, but even like working a bag, or grappling and stuff like that. Like, man, you could lose so much weight doing that.
They don't look at it like we look at it, though. You know what I'm saying? Like I said before, a grown man
and
look
your
at
body develops differently. You know, like look at you. You've stayed in shape, and look how your body is. You know, now look at somebody. There's old pictures of me. I was athletic since I was 5. Played football and soccer, all through Pop Warner, all that shit.
And soccer get you right.
Yeah, up into high school. High school I had to pick because soccer's were in the same season as football. Sir. And then I let myself go and became the biggest, and I was just soft and round, and it just
now talk about that, bro. Just that transition from being at that space, the person you didn't like, until now. Like, what did anything transpire to make you made that switch, or was it just?
There was multiple factors in life. You know, it's hard to pinpoint one thing. I think it was a whirlwind of things.
Yes, sir.
You know, it was where I was at in my personal life, like just me as an individual. Wasn't happy looking in the mirror. I didn't feel confident. Yeah, I didn't feel respected. I didn't feel happy. You know, no purpose, stuff like that. Because you know, a job. Not everybody feels purpose with a job.
No, hell,
you know? Sometimes it's just a job.
It's just
and that's okay. Go there to get your check, go home. But I think that, I mean, that's really what it came down to. Relationship, me trying to be the example for my younger brothers. You know, I was talking all this stuff, but not doing what I was saying. Yeah, and that's why, you know, I started, like I said, got into stoicism, stuff like that. Instead of me speaking,
stoicism.
Let me live what I'm talking about.
That's right.
You know, and let them see it, and that's what I've done. You know, and it's been the best thing I've ever done, and it's kept me out of shit too. Yeah, bro, I used to drink.
Yeah,
drink. You know how Mexicans are.
Oh, that's why I'm part of my Latino partners all the time.
Drinking, dog. Like I'm talking about drinking. Yeah. Partying, drugs.
You gotta know when to go home when you're partying with Latinos, though.
Oh, fuck, bro. If there's even going home, it's sometimes.
Yeah, that's right.
2-day bender for us. You know what I mean? Especially you start getting in, doing some shit, boy.
That's what Cat Williams said. He said, you at that Latino party, I want to go home.
Yeah, you ain't lying.
Yeah.
He is not lying, bro.
Yeah.
And culture.
Mhm.
That's what the culture is. Drinking.
Yeah.
Drinking. That's eating and drinking.
Mhm.
That's big in the Mexican culture. And
y'all be having them babies too.
oh yeah.
Oh, y'all big on them kids.
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir.
And it's like that's what you have to follow.
Got you.
And I didn't want to do that anymore.
Got you.
I was like, man, I don't. But that's what was all around me.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to break out of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it definitely is.
But when I did, and I actually got a lot of shit when I did. Oh, you doing that stupid shit, blah, blah, blah. That ain't gonna last.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, come party with us. You being fake.
Yeah, man.
All this shit. And I'm like, why, man? Because when I was doing it, it seemed fun on the outside of how my face was. I probably looked like I was happy, but I was fucking sad in the inside, bro. Sad. Like, alcohol is such a short, reward.
Man,
and people don't understand that alcohol releases cortisol in your body. That is why you feel like shit the next day. You have that anxiety attack that not only of what you did the night before, you got to go incognito because you was fucking dancing on tables and trying to get with everybody's girl, but also a chemical reaction from it. So people gravitate towards the club and the bars and stuff like that because it's a quick, I'm going to feel better, but overall long term, it's just going to make you worse. And that's what I figured out.
Yeah.
So that's what changed me too, because I did it. I mean, fuck, man, we used to get crazy in high school. I mean, we was drinking, doing party back when we used to do hotel parties back in the day. I don't even know if they still do those.
Oh, no, these kids they don't party like
we used to do the motel parties, the super ins and shit,
sir.
And it was just bad. And bro, nothing ever good came out of it, bro.
That's right.
You was losing friends because friends were trying to fuck with your girl, and they was trying to fuck you over, and people were fighting, and alcohol just didn't lead anywhere, man. So after so long of it just becoming norm, I was like, nah, this ain't normal. I got to do something else.
Yeah.
This ain't right.
This ain't right.
And when I did it, it's a lonely road, but it's a very rewarding. Like, I don't feel unfulfilled anymore.
Yeah.
It's past that. I don't even think about it anymore. I will still drink.
Yeah.
But when I do it consciously now. I used to not be able to stop. Why am I drinking? I'm drinking to get drunk.
Yeah.
That's what I'm here. I ain't here to fucking have a couple beers. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Ain't no casual drinking.
Yeah. So I would do that. Or I smoked cigarettes for a long time. And I would just smoke all the time, dude. And then it just became to where I was only smoking when I was drinking. And now I can have a choice. I don't need to have these things, but it's because I filled the emptiness. So now I have a reason of why I'm not doing it. I don't want to feel like shit when I go roll the next day. Or I don't want to feel shit when I go work out the next day. So you can't just eliminate these things and then not fill the emptiness.
I like that.
You got to fill that spot.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, you got to fill that spot. So I would say to you, if you're ever thinking about it, you're always welcome at our gym.
Jiu-jitsu.
So try it out.
Jiu-jitsu when you come to the podcast.
Try it out.
Y'all got it. I got you. That's real.
And there's always one near you too, dude. I mean, there's a lot of gyms out there in Lenexa, that you guys can join. Or hell, you got connections with boxing.
Now that's one of the passion that I'll never let go. I love boxing, man. I keep a pair of gloves in the car with me. That's just because growing up, man, that's just what we did, man. It's a different time, man. God bless the younger generation coming up, but and I don't want to alienate them or make them feel like, because I mean we got treated the same way, but it's just a different time growing up, man.
Everybody should get hit in the mouth at least once.
At least once, man. Like, cause it taught you to, number one, shut the hell up. If you couldn't take a punch or couldn't fight, man, shut your ass up. Now we got social media. Everybody can talk. Yeah. And it's like, bro, we was in school. You wouldn't say nothing to me. You would sit in the corner and be like, dude, because that's who you are.
I've met people like that. I've met people that'll preach online, but in person, I'll be like, what'd you say?
Yeah. And it always throws people for a loop, because it's like, it's okay to be yourself, bro. You don't have to act. We too grown to be trying to act like you somebody you not, bro. Like,
to circle back too. That's my issue with government.
Okay.
Because these people can't be punched in the mouth because what's going to happen?
That's
You're
right.
gonna get
You're going to jail.
Yeah, what the fuck? He deserved it. He needed it. It's just like in the schools.
Yes, sir.
They suspend these kids that stick up against the bully.
No.
Why are you suspending the kids?
They suspend both of them. I've been through that plenty of times.
What the fuck is that teaching?
He need his ass whooped.
Who started it?
There you go.
Has fucking that guy been picking on that guy the whole time, stealing his lunch money? Okay, he got hit in the mouth and beat up. Don't do it no more.
Because I guarantee you, he know what's up now. He going home looking in the mirror like, damn. And that was always my thing growing up. I grew up a fighter. My whole thing was, I'm going to make you remember me. You know what I'm saying? So because as volatile as I was, man, nobody will never say that I was a shit starter.
Yeah.
I just took the attitude of, don't fuck with me. You know what I mean? Because I don't fuck with you. I don't bother nobody, bro. To this day. I don't bother nobody, bro. I stay out of people's business. I can't tell you the last time I really had an argument with somebody like, no, fuck you. No, fuck you. That ain't me. You know what I mean? Because I'm just a genuine person. So once you step over that line of you being disrespectful, you want to cause harm, okay, well, here we go.
But like you said, you've been around gyms, right?
Yeah.
So you understand maybe your capabilities and you understand what other people are capable of. So it's a humbleness.
For sure.
It's a confidence booster. It's like, okay, I know what I'm capable of. Right. So I'm not worried about this guy. I'm not even going to try to engage with this guy. I already know what would go down.
Yeah.
But, you have to go and do these things in order to get that.
Yes, sir.
Because if not, like you said, it's going to be a false reality. But
I like it where, put it to you this way. I think 50 Cent said it best. I don't want a problem. But if you want a problem, no problem. You know what I mean? That's just my attitude. Like I truly I don't want a problem with nobody because I know where it's going to lead, bro. Me and you get into it. One of us going to get arrested or can go further than that. It's unnecessary.
Somebody can die.
Somebody could die, bro. It's
I think about that a lot.
Yes, sir.
There's a lot of scenarios I have been in my life where I could have done things.
Right.
Or things could have been done to me.
Mm-hmm.
And when you think back on it, it's very scary. You can lose everything in a couple of seconds, you know? So you got to be careful of that.
Have to, bro.
Because trust me, if I wanted to go out there and beat up everybody that I wanted to beat up, I wouldn't be here right now.
No.
I've got 2 little girls that need me. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
So you got to be able to think about stuff like that too. But you also, in the moment, if it gets to where you can't escape it,
you got to be able to handle yourself.
You can't talk your way out of it. You got to be able to defend yourself.
Yes,
and I think if they start pushing that more in the schools, because the schools is the problem. There's wrestling. That's the only sport you have that's a combat sport.
Mm-hmm.
And that's hard to get kids to join. Yeah. I think a lot of the times because of the uniforms.
It was a uniform for me.
Yeah, it was mine too when I was younger. Now I look at it and I think it was stupid for me to think like that.
Facts.
Because they could all beat my ass.
And I ran track with my dumb ass. I wore a singlet for track, but not for wrestling.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Look,
okay.
The stupidity, bro.
Do they still wear singlets in track?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That one piece, the same thing they wore in wrestling.
I guess my brother does track. I guess I never paid attention.
They either got the shirt with the shorts or it's I was a sprinter. So, we wore the same thing wrestling.
Well, that's why you should come do jiu-jitsu because we wear rash guards. So
that's the big joints, right?
The sleeves.
Yeah.
Full on shirt.
All on them
it's a compression shirt, but we wear compression shirts with shorts.
Okay, gotcha.
So, actually, I think wrestlers should adopt that. Mm-hmm. And from what I heard, they are.
Okay, gotcha.
So it's becoming, because you can wrestle. If you have a compression shirt on, I mean, you're not going to be able to really pull on it. It's stuck to the skin, you know. And if you're guys like me, I wear the hoochie daddy shorts. You ain't grabbing onto nothing.
You ain't grabbing on nothing up here.
I'd wear compression shorts if I could to show off these legs, but I don't know if my coach would like that.
Yeah. I said, all right, son. Oh, wait a minute now. Hold on.
Be like, hey, man, keep that shit on, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, no, that's dope, dude.
I think they should though. You know what I mean? They got to do something for the babies, man. Like for the kids, man, because we losing them, bro, and that's what's scary to me.
I mean, if they don't want to put boxing or any other, I think they should put it all in fucking high school. But at least they can put jiu-jitsu. Yeah, you can get hurt, but you can get hurt in wrestling.
Get hurt doing anything.
Yeah, and I think jiu-jitsu people would gravitate more. It's getting really popular, really big right now.
Yeah.
And I don't see it stopping. I see more people coming in, especially at our gyms.
Yeah.
Just more people signing up. And Healy and Gracie were here in Gladstone, Missouri. Check them out. But there's gyms everywhere. Out by you, there's Marathon, Marathon MMA, I think they're called. There's KCBJJ out there. There's so many different gyms here in the city, and they're just popping up all over. You got Ignite down the street.
I actually know that one.
Yeah,
I know
10
that one.
Planet up in Platte City. Like, I mean, they're everywhere. You got Cast Iron over here in Liberty, and boxing gyms everywhere.
Boxing
I mean,
gyms everywhere.
shit, boxing has been huge. I mean,
Yep.
boxing used to be all we had.
And now that's all we had.
Boxing was the thing,
That
but
was the
when
thing.
UFC came into the world,
Changed everything.
I can't even really watch boxing anymore. The big fights.
The day I seen it switch, I was like, oh shit. I'm like, bro, they got us, bro.
Yeah.
UFC got us, y'all. It's over.
And I'm a big Canelo Alvarez fan.
Yeah,
I
me
was
too.
fucking rooting for him before he even gained fame, because I remember I was like, damn, he kind of looked like me. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, I felt relatable. I was like, man, that's dope, man, because you never seen no shit
That's
like
right.
that. And to see what the status he's gotten to, man, I mean, just the best, man. I mean, always challenging all the big dogs, man. Like, moving up in weight classes, all sorts of shit.
He boxed beautifully, bro. I love watching Canelo box, man. As a boxing
and
fan.
his game after Floyd Mayweather.
And that's what people get mad at me when I say that. It's no
Nah,
knock to him.
dude.
He was 22 at the
He
time.
was young.
He was a young buck.
Yeah.
He bit off more than he could chew. He bit off more than he could chew, because he's still doing what he's been doing.
Yeah.
Challenging the best, no matter what weight class.
Yeah.
But after Floyd, you saw him pick up that
Oh,
Floyd
yeah.
weave, and it was over with.
Floyd,
And
I
it
mean,
make me go,
he's-
boy,
he's
Floyd,
the-
he had that?
he's the best. I
Yeah,
mean,
he's the best.
his defense,
Yeah.
no matter personality wise, leave that out of the
Yeah, leave that out of
the conversation. But his boxing is just, I mean, you watch it and
Yeah.
you don't really get it.
Yeah.
People that have never done it,
Yes, sir.
you have to go spar with the dude who's been boxing for 1 year,
Yes, sir.
maybe 6 months.
Maybe I was just 6 months.
Go spar with him,
Yeah.
and you'll be like, God damn,
I can't hit this motherfucker.
yeah,
He hitting me.
beat my ass.
Yes, sir.
Now imagine Canelo Alvarez, who has been boxing since he was a kid.
Yes, sir.
And imagine because nobody wants to get hit in the head, like, so it's a little different. But if you go do jiu-jitsu, you're not going to really take any damage. You can go full on and not take any type of head trauma. Go roll with the black belt.
Yeah.
Do you know how long it takes to get a black belt? It takes some people 10, 15, 20 years
Yeah.
to get a black belt.
Mm-hmm.
And to just feel how vulnerable you are and what you don't know. I mean, everybody should feel that.
Yeah.
So that way you can appreciate these guys that are on TV instead of talking shit going, oh, Floyd, he don't box. Or, oh, why is he fucking not moving? Why is he getting hit? Well, motherfucker, have you ever got hit? Have you ever got swung on by a dude that's throwing 30 punches at you?
12 rounds. This motherfucker
Doing
trying to punch your
an
head off.
eight combination? Shit.
Hell no. And he punching from you said it earlier, he know how to punch.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah, scary. And look at Canelo Alvarez. He used to lead into all
Yes,
that
sir.
shit. He don't do that shit no more.
I enjoy watching Canelo for this reason. You don't see that with a lot of Mexican-born fighters.
Mhm.
If everybody's a fan of boxing, Mexican fighters, they come to fight. They come to brawl.
Oh,
they
yeah.
with all that. Like, what's his name? Pitbull Cruz. Isaiah Cruz. Isaac Cruz, excuse me. That, Roberto Duran style, I'm
Yeah.
finna just beat the hell out of you.
Cesar
You know what I mean?
Chavez. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Canelo was the first, Latino boxer I saw that came with the, I'm, because that's how we box in the black community. It's style. Like, no, you can't hit me, baby. I'm shoulder rolling and all.
Mhm.
So it's just beautiful to see Canelo.
Yeah, I
Alvarez.
mean, he definitely showed that Mayweather. And it was cool to see Canelo not stick to his path.
Yep.
And continue to box that way. He goes, oh shit, this guy's doing that. I can fucking touch him.
And he's gonna be around
You
for
know?
forever doing it the way he's doing it now.
Oh yeah. And why did he do it? He was breaking his hands
Yes,
all
sir.
the time. You know
Yes,
what I mean?
sir.
People don't understand that in a fight, everybody wants to curl up their fists, but you've got so many
Yeah.
small bones and stuff
Yeah.
like that. That's why a lot of people break their hands when you hit somebody. One, you don't know how to hit.
Mhm.
So you're just fucking swinging. You might hit the top of
Yeah,
their
that
head,
motherfucker
fucking
tight as a-
break that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why some people open palm strike because, this is a lot
Yeah.
harder. It's almost like a bat.
And that
If you
motherfucker
think
right
about
here,
it, like
yeah.
a stick. Boss Rutan used to do it all the time. He was breaking people's noses, just smacking them in the face with an open
Shit's
palm
no
strike.
different when we work out. You sit that thing right there.
Mhm.
All of this is right here.
Exactly.
So you're
Exactly.
right.
And so it was cool to see Canelo adapt to that and
Yes,
change up his game. I thought that was because
Yeah.
now look at all his highlights.
Come on, man. It's beautiful.
I'm
Watch
like,
him
how
fight.
the
Yes,
fuck
sir.
did he do? What was that dude? That black dude he boxed.
Charlo?
What was it?
Charlo?
No. It was a while back. It was in Dallas. He bought him. I fought him.
Dallas.
What the fuck?
I wish I knew.
Dude, I don't remember what his fucking name was, man. But dude, he's got a highlight reel where dude couldn't touch him.
Yeah.
Dude could not touch him. I wish I would have remembered his name, man, but he was trying. He could not touch him. Dude.
And that's demoralizing,
how many
bro.
slips and feints that I was like, oh my God.
When you can't hit somebody, bro, and they can hit you, has to be the most humbling feeling in the world. Like you said, go spar with somebody.
Oh yeah. It's one thing to give a punch.
Yeah.
To be able to where a motherfucker's like, I can't hit this
I can't
dude.
hit this motherfucker. Oh. I'm chasing you around the ring, swinging.
Yeah. And now you tired. Now he's just going to piece you up.
Like Joe Rogan said, that's when it get bad. Joe Rogan always be like, he'll let a motherfucker get tired. Yeah. He's like, as soon as they get tired, oh, now I'm finna whoop your ass.
Oh, yeah.
Now you tired. So
yeah, and that's where grappling's a big thing, dude. Like wrestlers train for that. They train for 100% all out. When you're tired, dig deep.
Dig deep.
Yeah.
And I ain't got that, so that's why I stay out of shit.
Yeah, wrestlers a whole. If you start seeing cauliflower ears, man, just go on. I'm not saying that makes them a badass, but they'll probably know more than you.
You see that cauliflower, bro, you know he been putting in work.
Yeah.
He trained weekly, and them the people I stay away from, bro. I don't fuck with individuals who, you know what I mean?
Dude, I've rolled with dudes that were a little older than me that haven't wrestled since high school and still can hold themselves.
Yeah.
Like still remember that shit. I mean, they did 4 years in high school only, no college, and they still remember that shit.
And what's the first step of jiu-jitsu? When you step in, like, do you learn the basics, or like do they just say, yeah, go ahead, roll with him and let learn?
No, they take care of you.
Okay, gotcha.
And I can't speak for all gyms,
right?
But all of them here, from what I've heard, are great.
Yeah.
But you'll go in, you're the new guy, you'll be a white belt, and you will. They'll put you usually with an upper belt. That way they take care of you. You don't want two white belts spazzing out on each other, fucking breaking each other's arms and shit. But they will moderate it, and they'll make sure, like, they'll let like so-and-so know, hey, don't go crazy, teach them, and they'll work with you. They'll let you feel how, they'll let you know, but they ain't gonna like beat you to oblivion into where you don't even want to come back.
You're gonna get up and learn something after this, basically. I like that.
So basically what you do is you drill. There'll be a move of the day, or there'll be a couple of moves, and then you'll drill them. You'll drill them with your partner. You'll watch the coach drill it. You'll drill them with your partner. And then after you're done doing all that shit, at the end of the night, you roll. You usually do about 5-minute rolls. And that's where that cardio comes in.
Yeah, man. I can only imagine.
Yeah. But yeah, man, it's an awesome thing, dude. I hope.
I'm going to have to check it out.
I hope they integrate it more in schools, man. I think if they start doing that, it'll become a norm and people will want to do it more. Because I think people think they have to be training for some type of fight in order to do it. No, you can just be a hobbyist.
It can be a
practitioner. You can. But yeah, I think more and more, and I think talking about it too will get more and more people. And like I said, don't just do jiu-jitsu, do other things.
You named everything. You literally said do something. Basically, is what you was getting at. Do something, man.
But I will go back to when we're talking about boxing. Once you watch the UFC, it's pretty much over.
Yeah. I put it to this
I don't know how you can go back from boxing for that.
This how I can
Unless you're watching Canelo or Fury or guys like that, Anthony Joshua, guys like that. I don't know.
Here's how you still gonna have that group of people, right? Because me, I love boxing. That's me. I can watch some of the greatest UFC fighters and not be impressed because of that's just not what I want to see. For instance, one of the GOATs, Khabib.
Yep.
I do not like watching Khabib fight. Because he's gonna grab this man from the time the fight starts, he diving at motherfuckers' ankles, and it's like, all right, come on. Like, I get what you're doing. He's dominant. I want to see Conor McGregor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna whoop your ass in here. That's what I like to see. So
I think if you maybe more and learned the grappling side of it, it would open up your mind. But I am gonna say that some matches are like, I don't watch a ton of jiu-jitsu matches. Jiu-jitsu can be boring to watch sometimes, but there are cool, like watching Gordon Ryan, Craig Jones, Nick Rodriguez, like all those guys at ADCC. Fucking, that's awesome, dude. It just depends, man. And like I said with boxing, I'm not really gonna watch a Ryan
Some
Garcia
bullshit.
fight,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But I'll watch Tommy Fury, or not Tommy Fury, that's his brother.
Tyson Fury.
Yeah, Tyson Fury. Yeah, Tyson Fury
his
fight.
Big ass.
You know what I mean? Like I like big fights, like, you know,
Yeah,
especially the bigger fighters. You know, they're more fun to watch. But I do give respect to boxing because it's a beautiful art.
Yeah,
you know it is, but that's what the UFC is: mixed martial arts.
It's everything.
Yeah, boxing, Muay Thai, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, all sorts of stuff.
Is what Khabib do jiu-jitsu? Is he just awesome at wrestling? That's not jiu-jitsu?
He's just a wrestler.
Okay, he's just a wrestler.
Yeah.
Okay, got you. What's the difference? If you could, you know, what separates the two?
Well, you know, I'm not an expert in
got
this,
you.
but wrestling, I would say, is different in a point sense.
Okay, got you.
So pins and points.
Sir.
Yeah. BJJ has also points as well.
Okay.
But ours is to submit.
Got you.
To not just pin your opponent, to submit. So to reenact breaking a limb or choking them out or getting them in whatever it is that you're doing to tap.
Yeah.
So that would be the difference.
Now I'm starting to, while you've been talking, I've been understanding why you pushing this jiu-jitsu thing, because that's amazing.
And that's why wrestlers gravitate to jiu-jitsu so much, is because they have that grappling background. Mm-hmm. So they have that, but now they want to go learn the submissions. Yeah. You know?
And that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. But I think all of it's great, man. I wish I could do it all. We actually do boxing at our gym too, so that's always nice to have. But yeah, man, I think they should just do what they do, and everyone should try it.
Everybody should try something, man. I like that message, man. Everybody should. This whole it's beautiful, man, and it's a stress reliever. Like I think as we get older, these type of activities, we used to think of them as just something. And like you said, people wouldn't get into it because they think, well, I ain't gonna do it if I ain't training to be for the Olympics and all of that. Yeah. But man, getting older, man, these activities, man, they do wonders for our mental stability, man. Mm-hmm. Like,
well, that's the problem. Look at the mental health right now.
Right.
People are always crying and bitching about shit. And don't get me wrong, I got my own issues. Mm-hmm. I ain't out there crying about it all the time like these guys are and girls. But like, what do you
change nothing?
Yeah, what are you doing about it? Not to mention, all you're doing is sitting there and consuming the content that's making you sad. You don't think about it, but when you're on TikTok and you click on a sad video, it's nice. I've clicked on them. Yeah. Like, damn, man, that's a relatable, man. You know, like kind of made you feel a certain way.
It fuck with your mood.
But now your algorithm's set up to where it's pushing it in your face all the fucking time. So you are wondering why you're sad. Yeah. Because you're on this all the time.
And it's a bunch
you're
of sad
seeing
shit.
It's reminding you about it all the time. You're going to be sad.
That's a good point, man. I'm with you on that.
You're going to be depressed.
It's to the point where in the morning now, you know, I don't even look at my phone, you know, first thing because, man, I hate, one thing I hate, bro, if I look at my phone, I'm in bed, and the first thing I see is somebody that died or a death, and it's just like, okay, well, way to start my motherfucking mood. So, yeah, I'm with you, bro. Moderation?
Yeah, moderation is key.
Moderation is key. I've definitely decided to, you know.
Look at it this way, moderation being, if you eat McDonald's three meals a day, not going to be good.
Not going to be good.
McDonald's every now and then, not bad.
Ain't no wrong with it.
It's good to splurge. You don't have to be some crazy health freak and eat fucking chicken and rice only the rest of your life.
Them motherfuckers, I could never be like that.
Yeah, people do that. When they start a diet, they think that's what they have to do. Yeah. Chill.
Yeah.
Go into it easy, moderation. If you work out 7 days a week, twice a day, it's not good either.
No. You're killing yourself.
You're killing yourself. You're not able to let your body repair. Moderation. Everything like consumption of social media.
I like that.
Consumption of alcohol. Yeah. Consumption of drugs. All that stuff. It's not bad if you fucking moderate it. That's it.
That's real.
You know, and no one can find that balance in life.
Get some control over it. Basically, is what moderation do. Whatever it is you do, it's not consuming you. Basically, that's what you're getting at.
It goes back to stoicism. Yeah. That's the biggest thing. I think
like that's probably my favorite word for this podcast.
Yeah. If you start read the book Meditations. Yeah. It will answer a lot. It was Marcus Aurelius's journal. Mm-hmm. It was never supposed to be released.
Do it go into his, day to day? Yeah, he got a battle or two.
Yeah, this was thousands of years ago. He was one of the great 5 emperors.
Oh, I know Marcus Aurelius.
Yeah, and he had and everyone knows that any emperor that's ever had power and control, just like our politicians, they become corrupt. Mm-hmm. Okay, but he supposedly, now history is always his story.
Yes, sir.
But he supposedly was a good emperor for the people, and he wrote down all his troubles and thoughts and ways that he was able to navigate it and how you should look at things. And that's what I was talking about. Ryan Hall explains it a lot better than what I do. But man, I'm telling you, read that like you would the Bible. People go back to passages from the Bible to be able to get through life. This is no different. It is almost like a Bible.
Oh, I'm getting that.
Yeah, and I'll show you the book before you leave. If I'm feeling a certain way, and even if you're not a reader, type in Stoicism on YouTube. Listen to these things, because you don't just listen to them once and you're fixed.
Right.
When that comes up, go, okay, I'm not feeling good right now. Let me go and let me figure this out. I need help, you know? Just like you would go to a therapist.
Absolutely.
But we all know therapists are very expensive, and they are good depending on what therapist you have. But you have to have something else too to rely on if you can't afford it. And with this, like we said, it's a bad, but it can be a good thing as well.
Moderation.
So I want to thank you for coming on.
Thank you, brother.
It's been great.
Yes, sir.
I think what you're doing over there, like I said, at I-70 is great. I hope everyone goes and checks out your podcast. Love what you're doing. I love what all you guys are doing at No Solutions over there. Doing great. You're always welcome back anytime you want. Hit me up, you know, because we could chop it up for fucking probably another 5-6 podcasts.
I still got a little piece of my granola sitting in my lap. Like, if bro want to keep going, keep going. But I want to thank you, bro, for having me on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you didn't have to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it means a lot to me that I've stepped into a space where I'm meeting like-minded individuals. We all chasing the same thing, and I'm meeting genuine people, bro. So I want to, before I leave, once again, I did it earlier, but give you your flowers, bro. What you are doing, it is not easy. Believe me, bro. I take the same steps you take, bro. We're trying to get guests and, you know, get the scheduling together. I have nobody to lean on but me. So, bro, I want to commend you, bro, and tell you everything you're doing, bro. We see you as well, bro. I know you see everybody. We see you as well, man.
I appreciate it. Thank you,
bro.
And I want you to know, like, why I'm doing this and why we're doing this. These conversations are needed because even though we're like-minded, like we said earlier, we come from different backgrounds.
Yes, sir.
And if we continue to do these conversations, I think it'll bring more people together. You know what I mean? So,
yes, sir.
I appreciate it, man.
My man.
All right.
Thank you, Brody.